Time for Carterville Lions football on News Radio 1340. WJPF Heron, W258DP Heron, 99.5 FM.
It's time for Carterville Lions sports. Right now on Radio WJPF 40. The Lions roar all season long with People's National Bank, McDonald's, the UPS Store, Clark Transportation, IBEW Local 702, and First Mid-Bank and Trust. The Lions are also powered by Polar Whip, the Bank of Heron, Ron Ward Chevrolet, Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating, and John A. Logan College. These businesses also support the Carterville Lions, SIU Credit Union, Infinity Realty, Rob's Pit Barbecue, Firemasters, Childers Orthodontics, and Banterra Bank. It's time for the Carterville Lions on News Radio WJPF. Here's Scott Hudson and the voice of the Carterville Lions, Dave McKenzie.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Carterville High School, to high school football 2022, as we are kicking off the IHSA football season here tonight in a matchup between the Carterville Lions and the Benton Rangers. Scotty Hudson is alongside and mentioned it just a few minutes ago. I can't believe it's football season already.
Well, I woke up this morning and I saw it was going to be around 85, 86 in Human, and I said, it's the end of August. It's got to be high school football time. So here we are in a great matchup in the first week of high school football. Benton and Carterville. These two teams played last year at Benton, with Benton coming out on top. Carterville's got a lot of high expectations this year. They've got a lot of kids back, around 20 seniors, and a lot of people are looking forward to watching this Carterville Lions team play this season.
Well, we've always said, Scott, that this week one matchup is always a great matchup in that both teams are usually pretty even. Although Benton has had a run here the last 3 years. Of course, 2020 there wasn't a Benton game, but I think it's a good barometer of where Carterville stands and where Benton stands after this first week.
Yeah, I think these two teams this year have kind of flip-flopped roles. Last year, Benton had all the seniors. They had about 20 seniors. They were expected to go deep in the playoffs, which they did. And Carterville had a good team, but they just didn't have as much experience as the Benton team did. Now, fast forward to tonight, Carterville is the team with all the experience, all the depth, and Benton has lost a lot of kids off that very good team last year. They're going to be starting a sophomore quarterback. So in high school sports, the cycle can change really quickly.
This is your SIU Credit Union pregame show. That's Scott Hudson. I'm Dave McKenzie. We're going to go on and take our first break as we are just 15 minutes away from kickoff here at Carterville High School as they host the Benton Rangers. Stay with us. Pregame show continues on News Radio WJPF.
SIU Credit Union now offers interest with free.
Everything okay? Did you have to work today?
Yeah. I actually left. I got home about a little after 4:30. I left early, so.
There. Is that? Can you hear me now? Welcome back to Carterville High School. Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson getting you ready for Lions as they take on the Benton Rangers. Scott, Benton coming off just an outstanding game last year, an outstanding season last year. I'll get it right. 11-1. They made it to the Elite Eight, and Coach Justin Groves just this week was named the Southern Illinois Coaches Association Class 3A Football Coach of the Year.
Yeah, well deserved. I mean, they did a fantastic job last year, losing to Mount Carmel to end their season last year, but it's always tough to go to Mount Carmel and win in the pit. So Benton had a very, very good year last year. This program has turned around. I just remember it seems like just maybe 6-7 years ago, this Benton football program was really down. You know, they didn't have the numbers they wanted. They just weren't very good, to be honest. But somewhere along the line, more kids started coming out. They got some very talented kids that come out for football. I know one of the kids last year, they had Reed Bumgart, a very good basketball player, but he came out and played wide receiver for them. So, yeah, they're still a very good team. I think they've obviously have more question marks coming into this season than Carterville does. But they've beat Carterville the last 2 times they've played them, so they've got confidence on their side.
Coach Brett Dial is entering his 4th season with the Lions. Of course, back in 2019, the Lions went 3-6. Then you had the COVID spring football where they went 4-1. Last year, 8-3, made it to the quarterfinal round. The trajectory has been very nice for this Lions team.
It is, and I think, I go back to when these seniors were freshmen. They went undefeated that freshman year. They beat some very good teams. The last game they played that year, they beat a Mascoutah team, which class-wise is bigger than they are. So I knew right then that this freshman squad, once they got to be seniors, could have a very special season. And we've seen some of these kids that are seniors play and start as sophomores. Moore last year played and started as juniors. Now they're seniors, and it just seems like everything. It's like the perfect storm. If they can stay away from injuries, this could be a special season.
This is the SIU Credit Union pregame show. Speaking of Coach Brett Dial, I had a chance to talk to Coach about this game. It's our pregame chat with the head coach of your Carterville Lions. It's coming up next on News Radio WJPF.
There's only so much time in the day. That's why People's National Bank makes banking easy and convenient with P&B to go.
Okay, since you're going to play coach there,
allows you to
I will not play the bump pad.
Between accounts.
Okay.
Right, because we normally wouldn't do that. So right after Infinity Realty,
smartphone,
roll your coach.
It is banking at your fingertips.
Hey, everybody online, good evening to you. Oh, can't do that. You there?
And I had your mic down. This is weird now with the, I have to turn the thing up to hear you. Again, after Infinity Realty rule, Coach, and do you want me to go to a break right out of Coach?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what we'll do. Infinity is coming up next, sir.
Okay.
To buy or sell a home in this area, you have a number of realtors to choose. Homes.net.
On our pregame shows, we're getting you set for Carterville Lions football game 1. How's that sound?
Oh, it's about time. I mean, we've been going at this for quite a while. We started a lot of off-season work, and really in December, and you go all off-season, all spring, and work together all summer, and then these last 3 weeks of practice, it's tough. I mean, it's hot, and those first 2 weeks you're just kind of doing some general install, and it requires a lot of mental focus, and then also it's taxing on you physically. And but after 3 weeks of practice, I mean, I think that we're ready to go, and I hope that the execution is there.
Coach, last fall you were coming off spring football, and just a couple of minutes later getting into fall football. Have you seen a difference in the team this year as opposed to last year, like because of the COVID year?
Well, it seems crazy to even think about that being just a year ago. How quickly that turnaround was, and that turnaround was tough for us. It was good in the sense that we returned a lot of our linemen, so we had a lot of things in early. But a lot of our skill players were new last fall, including our quarterback, and that was a quick turnaround. We didn't have really a lot of time in the summer to work, and I thought that team got better and better as the year went on, and I really think the difference, and I may be proven wrong, then I don't know. But I just think that we're a lot farther along in our scheme and our install, and it feels like where we were at middle to end of the year last year with what we're ready to do.
And this team, when you look at the roster, and people are going to say, wow, look at the number of seniors, pushing 20 seniors on this squad. These guys have 16, 17, 18 games under their belt.
Right, and it's more than any of that. These guys are they're incredible guys, and I've just enjoyed every second that I've had with them. Anytime we have a downtime and there's one of them standing around, you can talk to all of them. They're all got great personalities. They're great students. They're going to be great people after school. But on the field, this is a group that really gels well together. They have a high expectation of one another, and we're anxious to see what we can do.
Let's touch on the Benton Rangers. I've always thought that this Benton game is a really great game one matchup. They're usually strong, and you can count on they're going to bring it.
Yeah, they're a very well coached team, and they're not afraid to run it or throw it, and they play very good defense, and they're always a very physical team. So, when you're coming out week one, you better be ready to get hit and better be ready to play, or you can get overwhelmed. And I think that, a couple of years ago we weren't ready for that, and they steamrolled us. And I thought last year we had a pretty good attack at them, and I thought the game was pretty good. We just turned the ball over 3 times. And, if we can play clean and get off the football and we know what to expect, I think we're going to be fine.
And this is the first of 5 games at home. How important is that?
Well, I just think we're a different team here. Just the speed that we play on this field, for whatever reason, it's not just the turf. 8 of our games this year are on turf. There's something about playing here, and it's always been like that. We're at a different speed here, and we've got to really use that to our advantage. I think from our athletes, our skill position standpoint, against Benton, I definitely think we have the upper hand in regards to speed. So we've got to utilize that. We've got to get ourselves an open space and let our guys run.
And speaking of turf, this new turf looks fantastic.
It's awesome. They did a great job, and there's a few new fields this year that we're going to play on. Ours and DeCoin has a new surface that looks great. Madison High School put in a turf facility this offseason, and it looks fantastic. And then Harrisburg put one in. So, 4 of our games are going to be on new surfaces this year. So, definitely very, very fortunate, and it makes going into a game a little bit easier, not having to worry so much about the impact of weather and whatnot. And but like I said, all that stuff we can't control. We just got to get out here and play and see what happens.
Well, Coach, good luck tonight, and looking forward to a season, and talk to you in the postgame.
I appreciate it.
You don't have to be.
Hey, Brian, we lost our programming.
That's odd. I have them in queue.
Market executive for Banterra. Be your financial partner. We offer combined with superior.
Hang on.
Such as digital banking, smart checking options.
Now do you got it?
Competitive
Yes.
lending rates. Banterra is the region's largest
Yes.
locally owned community
Yep,
bank
Q.
with 25 Southern
got you.
Illinois branches to serve you. Member FDIC.
No, I'm good.
Equal housing lender.
From faxing.
Yes, give me a cue, please. Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Oh, so I can do less
It's a
work.
little weird. All right, you're coming back after this spot.
Welcome back to Carterville High School. Both teams are on the field lining up for the national anthem. And we're going to go on and take our final break here on the SIU Credit Union pre-game show. Stay tuned. Kickoff is next on News Radio WJPF. Welcome back to Carterville High School. I'm Dave McKenzie. Scott Hudson alongside as we wrap up our SIU Credit Union pregame report. Scott Hudson, it all comes down to this. Kickoff is just a couple of minutes away.
Yeah, as I said earlier, a lot of people are looking forward to this season for the Carterville Lions with all the players they have back. You look at the talent they have returning on the offensive side. I think there's 9 returning starters there. All of Carterville's defensive linemen from last year return. I guess the linebacker position might be the one question mark, but I'm sure we know they've got athletes on that side of the ball as well.
It's kind of cool. Right now a pregame presentation is taking place. Carterville Lions are honoring former head coach, Mr. Dennis Drust, here at the football field tonight. And, of course, Coach D now, he's an assistant for Kerry Martin over at Marion. Been with him for a couple of years, but pretty special guy out there.
Yeah, when I started here about 7 years ago, Coach Drust was here, very accommodating, very nice, very good football coach. He's been at it a long time, and I guess they figured they better do it tonight because this is the only time this season that he could be here because, as you said, they don't play until tomorrow night at home against Heron.
Absolutely not. Todd Rogers out on the field with Coach D, and the read is being done by public address here at Carterville High School, and he'll get a warm reception here in just moments. But tell you what, just excited to see Coach back here at Carterville High School. Gets the big handshake. They have the plaque. Of course, Coach's wife is the Carterville cheer coach, Linda Drust, and gets a nice response from the crowd here at Carterville High School. We're just we're ready to go.
We're ready to go, and it's going to be interesting to see this offense. Yeah, they lost a couple of players like the wide receivers in Hake and Townsend Barton, but they've got Biddle back, they've got Berkey back, they've got Cade Lustenberger that decided to play football this year, who brings size to that wide receiver position. There's just so many things to look forward to on this Carterville team, and as you heard Coach Dial say in the pregame, we have got a lot of team speed, and we have to find a way to utilize it at its best.
Absolutely. The officials are getting together on the logo at midfield here. And if you haven't heard, brand new turf at Carterville. You heard Coach talk about it in the pregame, that there's new turf. And, man, it looks great. The end zone's blue with the orange lettering Lions on both the north and the south end. New track, all painted. They scraped up the old track, put down new track. I watched them do that. I came out here and checked the progress.
I thought they would have put you to work if they saw
tried
you
to
out
get a
here.
job. They wouldn't hire me. Too lazy. Radio guy. Hey, that's what that means.
Not saying anything.
And in about 10 minutes, it's going to be perfect viewing as the sun sets over the trees to our west. But Carterville is going to be doing the kicking as they kick it off to the Benton Rangers. And doing the kicking for the Lions, it's going to be Riley Crane. As he has the ball teed up. Boy, we appreciate you tuning in to Carterville Lions Sports here on News Radio WJPF. Here we go. Riley Crane, his kick is a squib kick. It's going to be fielded it goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So Benton will have first possession of the game in pretty good field position.
Yeah, I think they'll start at the 30. So, little squib kick. No, actually, I'm sorry. Start at the 25. So we'll see Carterville's defense first. Again, they've got their entire defensive front back from last year. New linebacking core. One of those linebackers, Aiden Hinton, who we did not see a lot last year, other than in mop-up role as a running back. So it's going to be interesting to see what that young man can do with his speed and agility.
And a brand new quarterback.
It is at the
It is
to 35.
35, yes.
I was 5 yards off either way.
New quarterback for the Benton Rangers this year is Tiffin Kazukas. And he wears number 7. And Kazukas, the 5'9", 165-pound quarterback. Works from the shotgun, puts his running back in motion, throws it across the middle, and it is incomplete. Second down as the ball was knocked down by Carterville's Riley Bradford.
Now, Bradford just watched the quarterback's eyes, timed his jump perfectly, and knocked that ball to the turf.
Kazukas, as we mentioned, will work from the shotgun. Wyatt Upton is the running back in the backfield. Now Kazukas is going to go empty backfield. They have 3 receivers spread to the left, 2 near side. They are working left to right on your radio dial. 11:56 just underway, second down and 10. Kazukas is going to keep it, takes it off the right side, met right there, plowed under at the 37-yard line. Nice. It's a short gain, a gain of about 2 for the Rangers.
Yeah, about 4 Carterville Lions met him. In on the tackle was Bryce Smith, one of those new linebackers I was talking about. Bryce Smith, along with Aiden Hinton, you will see those 2 in the offensive backfield.
So now it's going to bring up third down and 8. And the ball is at the 37-yard line for the Rangers. They break huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. Kazukas has his running back to his left, right off his left hip. Takes the snap, looks to throw. Has a man in the flat, throws it across the middle. Nice catch going up high and making the reception for the Benton Rangers. Number 33, Lucas Wilson.
Well, that was a very good throw and an even better catch about 2 yards past the marker. So Benton picks up their first down of the game.
First and 10 from the 46 for the Rangers. Boy, that was a pretty catch.
And Kazukas got hit right as he threw the ball.
Kazukas is a sophomore. Takes the snap, gives it to his running back, straight up the gut. Picks up about 7, 8, 9, 10. They're going to give him about 12 yards on that carry. So another first down for the Benton Rangers.
Yeah, just right up the middle, right at that Carterville interior line. And Bryce Smith, linebacker, had to make the stop, but not before first down.
10:40 remaining here in the opening quarter. No score. Benton has the first possession of the game. First down and 10 from the Carterville 43. They're in Lions territory. Kazukas, again, he'll work from the shotgun. 2 receivers, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's the give to the running back, though, on the carry and getting stacked up nicely right at the line of scrimmage is Jacob Kinsman.
Well, one of the first players to blow that play up for Carterville was Zach Miller, the 5'10", 232-pound junior. He just came right up the gut and blew that play up.
No gain on that carry. It's bringing up 2nd down and 10 from the 43. Boy, that was a good defensive play. And Zach Miller, man, he's a talker. I've been to practice for the last 2 weeks, and he likes to chat him up. He revs him up.
One thing about this Benton offense, their offensive line is very big. That's one of the things that they really like about their team this year.
They have the ball at the Carterville 43. It's 2nd and 10. Kazukas. Ball was bobbled by the running back Wyatt Upton right after the handoff, and luckily he was able to hang on to it, and right there to bring him down for a loss of about 2 was the Lions defense.
Yeah, Riley Bradford, who was in on the last stop on the previous play, comes up with a big play there. Now it's going to be 3rd and long for Benton, and this is the type of situations, if you're Carterville's defense, you want to put a young kid, a sophomore, in. You want to try and force him to try and beat you.
Blake Berkey and Peyton Biddle are the 2 deep men defensively. They're the safeties for the Lions. They're going to not let anybody get behind them. Kazukas looks over toward the sideline. His running back on his right hip is Kinsman. Kazukas. And that's going to be a delay of game called on the Benton Rangers as the clock had struck 0 on the play clock. So that's going to back them up 5 yards. And now it'll be 3rd down and 17.
Well, that's one of the growing pains you go through with a young quarterback. And you've got he's got the play clock that he can see, and instead of using a timeout, he just took the penalty.
He spent a lot of time talking to his head coach, Justin Groves, over on the far sideline. It is 3rd down and 17 from midfield, right at the 50. The snap, it's the pitch back, it's option pass. Thrown by Grant Owens to the right side. The ball is incomplete, and Carterville has forced the Benton Rangers into 4th down, and the Rangers will punt.
And I believe Mr. Bradford made his presence felt again as he just came in and just annihilated Owens about the time he was letting go of the ball. And Carterville had good coverage. They were not fooled by the little trickeration by the Rangers, and now we'll see what Carterville can do when they get the ball.
And actually, that pass was almost picked off. Could have been. 4th down, Kazukas is back. He'll do the punting. Bobbles the snap. He is brought down at the 47-yard line, and that's where Carterville is going to take over on their first possession as Kazukas couldn't handle the snap, and Carterville is in Benton territory for their first offensive play.
Yeah, a mistake by the sophomore dropped it, and he was so close to the line of scrimmage. Once he dropped it and picked it up, he really didn't have time to punt it. He just had to try to do something with it, and all he could do is just fall to the ground, and Carterville's got great position on their first drive.
They have it at the 47 of the Benton Rangers. And it is Andrew Hellriegel, the quarterback for the Lions. Gives it to his running back off the left side. Beats his man down the sideline on the carry. That is Carterville's Bryce Smith that takes it deep into Benton Ranger territory. And, man, there was a nice block on the line to open up that end run.
Yeah, on the left side of the Carterville line, guys like Hayden Morris, Eli Morse, they just opened up a massive hole.
1st and 10, they have it at the 28 of the Rangers. Hellriegel takes the snap, gives it to his running back once again. That is Bryce Smith, who picked up back-to-back carries. He's shoved out of bounds after a gain of about 7 yards or so for the Lions, bringing up 2nd down.
And you have to remember, Hellriegel can also run the ball, so if you count him as a runner, along with Smith, Hardford, and Hinton, that's 4 guys in the backfield that can really take it to the house at any time.
2nd down and 3 after the 7-yard carry by Bryce Smith. Hellriegel's going to keep it. Takes it to the outside, to the 15, puts his head down, takes the pop, shoved out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. That's going to be a Carterville 1st down.
Yeah, Hellriegel just lowered his shoulder at about the 15-yard line, and you like to see that of your quarterback. Hellriegel's not the biggest quarterback that you'll see, but I tell you what, he showed a lot of toughness there.
So it's 1st down and 10 from the 13. It's the give to Berkey. He takes it off the right side and takes it down inside the 10. They're going to mark him down at the 7-yard line. Maybe the 8, it looks like.
Well, they're just feeding the ball to Bryce Smith right now, and he's running right behind those huge offensive linemen that Carterville has. And remember, they're missing probably the biggest offensive lineman, Charlie Howerton, who's still rehabbing a knee that he tore up last year at AJ, and they hope to have him back sometime this season.
Aiden Hinton was going to check in. He checks back out. Brett Dial needs a timeout as there's confusion offensively, and the head coach is not a happy camper. The 6:46 remaining here in the first quarter. Carterville has it 2nd down and 7. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by our friends over at Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating, as Charlie's is a full service, punctual service, 5-star satisfaction in the experience. It comes from 40 years in business. You can find out more at charliesairandheat.com. I think Coach got him lined up there, Scott.
Yeah. You know, you're going to, even with an experienced group like Carterville has, you're going to have a couple of hiccups the first game of the season. I mean, sometimes you just got to get that first possession or two underneath your belt, and you kind of take that deep breath and realize, okay, now it's time to play football, and don't let the emotions, you know, overtake what you're trying to do.
Peyton Biddle is the receiver. He spread left, right inside the numbers. Now Andrew Hellriegel from the shotgun. Puts his running back, Nolan Hartford, brings him from the right side to the left side. Now Hellriegel is set. And a whistle.
I think Benton jumped.
Kind of looked like it.
Because the whistle blew before the Carterville lineman moved. Yep.
Yep, it's going to be offsides on the Benton Rangers. So that'll move the ball up 5, and that'll be 2nd down and 2 now. 2nd and goal from the 4. 2nd and goal from the 4. 6:46 remaining. Carterville threatening here. Hellriegel looks left, takes the snap, throws left, gets it out to Peyton Biddle. Gets a nice block, and actually the defender fell down. Peyton Biddle scores the first touchdown for the Carterville Lions.
Well, they had trips to the left side. Biddle was one of those, and Hinton with a nice block to free Biddle up to get into the end zone. That block by Hinton was at about the 3-4 yard line, and Biddle did the rest. But, man, you talk about an offense that looks like they're in midseason form. That first drive was perfect.
At the 6:42 mark here of the first quarter, Carterville leads it 6-0, and Carterville lining up for the 2-point conversion. Ball rest at the 3-yard line. Hellriegel claps the hands, gives it to his running back, and on the carry, the 2-point conversion is good by Blake Berkey. After the 2-point conversion, Carterville leads it 8-0 here over the Benton Rangers. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
That was Smith.
I thought it was 13.
It is. Bryce Smith's 13.
Oh, my bad.
That's all right. Hey, I'm not in mid-season form either. I might be by week 9.
Yes.
I'm hoping.
That's what I'm thinking. Me too. Wow, that was a good drive.
Yeah. Talk about opening up some holes. Good Lord.
Hey, everybody online.
Good evening to you. ID in the middle.
Okay. We should have done a 45-minute pregame. There's so much to talk about. 6:42 remaining in the opening quarter. Carterville just scored their first touchdown of the season. It was a 4-yard pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Peyton Biddle. 2-point conversion was good on the carry by Bryce Smith, and the squib kick is taken at about the 40-yard line, and the Rangers carry it up to about midfield, about the 45 it looks like, and the Rangers are going to have their second possession of the game.
Yeah, they wanted to squib kick it, but it got too much air and went straight to one of the upbacks. So Benton will start their second possession in good field position. They started their first at the 35. This one will start at about the 43, their own 43.
1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. That scoring drive for the Lions, 6 plays, 53 yards. Kazukas has 2 running backs, gives it to the first one through. That's Wyatt Upton off the left side, and he is just stacked up. Zach Miller, he is a beast, I'm telling you.
You know, Zach Miller, now some people are going to say, well, this isn't a fair comparison, but I tell you who he reminds me of at the high school level. He reminds me of an Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald, who plays for the Rams, is not a big guy, but he is so quick, so thick, and so strong, he's the best defensive lineman in the NFL, and Zach Miller is just like that.
That's a great comparison. Kazukas now on the 2nd and 12, takes the snap, looks to throw, throws it right side. It's caught at the 47-yard line. Receiver is driven back, then pushed out of bounds, and on the reception, it is Lucas Wilson that picks up. He's going to be, about a half yard short of a first down, it appears.
Yeah, he could have been stopped at his own 45, but Peyton Biddle came up, didn't wrap him up, and then he was able to get down the sideline. So they're going to have 3rd and short here. And I would think even if they don't make it, they're probably going to, well, I don't know. You're down 7-0.
They mark it at the Carterville 48-yard line. So about a half a yard short for the Rangers. Ball on the near hash, moving left to right. Kazukas in the backfield. He has Wyatt Upton to his right. Takes the snap, hands it to Upton. He makes a move, first down and more. Off the left side, across the far hash, and brought down finally from behind. And that is going to be a first down now for the Benton Rangers, and that is the 3rd first down of the game for that offense.
Yeah, on the tackle for Carterville is a sophomore, Luke Johnson. We were told before the game that Johnson would play some tonight. They really like this young kid, and he saved a possible touchdown there.
That was a gain of 10 on that first down carry by Wyatt Upton. Ball placed on the far hash, 5.5 remaining in the opening quarter. Carterville leads it 8-0. Kazukas from the shotgun takes a snap, gives it to Upton again, met right there and slammed to the turf at the 45-yard line. Short gain of 3 on the carry for Benton.
Yeah, Cordes, and on the tackle, Cordes is one of those players that has started since he was a sophomore. One of the officials last week that was here at the scrimmage said, and I quote, he is a can't miss at the college level. That's how much that official thought of Mr. Cordes last week.
He is outstanding, and he's just ripped and strong, and looking forward to a great season as the play clock is working its way down to under 15 seconds. 4:45 on the game clock. It's 2nd down and 8 from the 36. For the Rangers, the snap, give to Upton, ball's on the turf. Who's going to get it? Did Upton get back on it? It appears so, but it looks like a Carterville player. They're going to say Benton maintained it as Upton. That's twice now we've seen him bobble a handoff from his quarterback, Tiffin Kazukas.
Cordes, Hinton, and Berkey were all there very quickly. Even if he gets the handoff cleanly, he's going absolutely nowhere.
Loss of 3 on the carry. The ball rests at the 39-yard line now. It's 3rd down and 11. 4 minutes remaining. Kazukas talks to Upton in the backfield. Has 2 receivers spread to the right, 2 to the far side. Claps his hands, takes a snap. He'll throw. Pressure. Steps up, avoids it, then is wrapped up and brought to the turf, bringing up another 4th down for the Rangers.
And that is Bryce Smith, who came in from his linebacker position, but give the defensive line credit. They did not let Kazukas get to the outside. They kept him in the pocket, and when he tried to go up the middle, there was Mr. Smith to take him to the turf.
4th and 16 from the 44. So now for the 2nd time, the Rangers are going to have to punt away, and Carterville's going to send Peyton Biddle back to receive the punt as he backs his way to about the 10-yard line. Upton appears to be doing the punting now as he is the deep back for the Rangers. signals, gets the ball, kicks it away. Short kick. It's going to hit at about the 18, bounce to about the 12, and that's where it is stopped right there. And that almost hit a Carterville player, and the ball would have been alive. Apparently it did not, but there is a flag over on the far sideline, and we'll see what the call is going to be. 2:55 remaining. I believe that ball almost hit Biddle, who went over to kind of cover. He was going to let it just lay there. It's going to be a hold on the Carterville Lions, so that's going to back them up inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, anytime you see a punt go away from your return man, you're better off to just stay where you're at and let it roll to wherever it's going to roll, and not take a chance. Because even if you had thoughts of going over there and picking the ball up and running, Benton had players down there, and you weren't going to go anywhere anyway.
2:55 remaining, and they set the ball right at the 5-yard line. So the Lions, the length of the field to go. It was a hold on the Lions. Well, the sun is finally starting to set. We can see Scott Hudson.
Oh, man, this is great.
The fans feel good.
Oh,
both of us remember to bring fans. Low snap, but Hellriegel's going to keep it, and he's brought down about the 4-yard line. A loss of 1 on the carry on the low snap by the Carterville center.
Not really. Obviously a good snap, and that's the first play tonight that Carterville's had negative yardage, and we have yet to see Carterville throw the football yet.
Hellriegel now. Again, he'll take the snap. Now he's going to roll to the right. He's going to throw it out right side. That is Blake Berkey with the catch as he is driven out of bounds at about the 13-yard lines. Berkey has his reception here this evening.
Berkey's got good size and speed that, if you, again, like Lustenberger, if you throw the ball up, he can go get it. But he can also make a defender miss and take it to the house.
3rd and 3 from their own 13. 2:20 remaining. Clock stopped after Berkey was driven out of bounds. Carterville brings 2 receivers near side. That's Berkey and Biddle. In the backfield. Hellriegel's going to keep it. Tries to make a move. Brought down right at about the 14. Don't know that they'll give him the 15. Just a little bit short. So it's going to be a gain of 1. And Carterville's facing their first 4th down of the game.
I would think Carterville will punt, but right now they have their offensive unit still on the field.
From the 14. Hellriegel from the shotgun. They're just trying to get the Benton Rangers to jump. He comes up to the line of scrimmage, gets under center. Ball is snapped, and it winds up on the turf. Well, that wasn't pretty at all, and the Rangers... What kind of mess was that? But the Rangers are going to have the ball at the Carterville 16-yard.
No, they're going to give Carterville a first down.
Wow.
When Hellriegel was going down, he reached forward with the ball. That was the difference.
Wow.
And Carterville getting the first down and Benton taking over inside the red zone.
My apologies to the Hellriegel family. I thought the ball came out of his hand, but he did reach for it.
Well,
so
the snap that was not clean, and it was kind of a messed up play, but they got the first down.
1st and 10 from the 16. Here comes Berkey out to about the 25-yard line. About a yard short of another first down, but Carterville looking at a 2nd and 1.
Yep, that's Bryce Smith on the carry. The 6'1", 200-pound senior.
Apparently, I don't know my 3s and 2s. 1st and 10 from the 16.
Smith on the carry for the Lions. That's enough for another Lions first down.
They get it out to the 30, about the 31-yard line. Clock stop while they set the chains. Now, Hellriegel takes his time. This should be the last play of the first quarter. Carterville leads it 8-0 over the Benton Rangers. 27 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Hellriegel from the shotgun, takes the snap, gives it to his running back. That's Carterville's Nolan Hartford. Hartford out across the 30, and they'll mark him at the 31-yard line, and that will be the final play of this first quarter. Carterville leads the Benton Rangers. It is 8-0 as we head to the second quarter. This is Carterville Lions football on News Radio WJPF. Good. Awesome. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the south end zone. The Carterville Lion Athletic Booster Club would like to take a moment to recognize
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Carterville High School as we head to the second quarter. Carterville has the football, 2nd down and 11 from their own 26. They lead this game, Scott Hudson's 8-0.
Good start to the game for the Lions, especially offensively. Had a couple of miscues. Coach Dodd had to take a timeout, but the offense has been spectacular.
Carterville now flipping sides of the field. They're going to be moving left to right. Of course, Carterville wearing their home blues with the white pants. Benton wearing their all-white uniforms with the maroon numbers. Everybody set. 8-0 is the score after the 4-yard touchdown pass from Hellriegel to Peyton Biddle. That was the only score of the game so far. Hellriegel takes a snap a little low, throws it right side, gets it out to Blake Berkey. Berkey gets a block, makes a move at the 35, down to the 40. Midfield has one man to beat, is pushed out of bounds, and a flag is laying at the 35-yard line, and they may bring that back.
I think they're going to get Jordan Cordes for a crackback block. He absolutely destroyed a Benton defender, which gave Berkey room to get down the sideline, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to get Mr. Cordes for an illegal block.
Greg Berkey made a nice move down the sideline after that block. It is holding against the Lions, and so that will bring it back and march them back.
And maybe that's
5
why
yards.
the Benton defender didn't get to Berkey, because he was being held.
Could be.
Berkey and Cordes go over and exchange high fives like, hey, I got your back.
Line it up again. That's going to push him back 10 yards now. It's going to be 2nd down and 15 from the 26 for the Lions. Everybody looks near side to Coach Brett Dowell. He's crouched over, hands on his knees, making the offensive call. Blake Berkey, the receiver, near side. Sends 2 to the far side. That's Biddle and Cade Lustenberger. Play clock not rolling. Game clock is stopped at 11:50. A lot of discussions taking place out there. And a personal foul. Another penalty?
Well, I think they changed the call from a hold to I think that's the signal for a crackback block. Either way, it might move them back another 5.
Yeah, it's at the 20-yard line. 2nd down and 16. Hellriegel rolls left, feels some pressure, spins away, falls to the turf. Back to the little bit short of the line of scrimmage, bringing up 3rd down and a long way for the Carterville Lions.
And Biddle was the only receiver on the far side of the field, and Hellriegel was going to have to throw across his body, and he got pressured and just decided to try a spin move. Got away, but then was tackled, and this is Carterville's first 3rd and long in this game.
Seems like there's confusion out there. Maybe it's just me confused. 3rd and 21 from the 20. Hellriegel Two receivers right, rolls to his right, throws it to his right. And there's Peyton Biddle, caught at the 32, and he's going to be brought down at about the 36-yard line. That's going to be 5 yards short of the first down. It's fourth down. What do the Lions do?
I think they're going to go for it. It looks, at least that's what it appears to me. On that play, Biddle just found an open spot down the field and a nice touch pass by Hellriegel to get it to Biddle. And we're going to see if Coach Dial will call a timeout. Nope, he's going to keep the offense on the field. Still 13 seconds on the play clock.
10:28 on the game clock. 8-0. The score. Lions with the lead. 5 seconds on the play clock. Hellriegel takes a snap, gives it to his running back. Off the right side and brought out of bounds on the carry for the Carterville Lions. It is Bryce Smith. And they're going to say it was enough for a Carterville first down.
Well, Zachariah Miller had a great block. He plays defensive line. He also starts an offensive line. Also give credit to Eli Morse as he pulled on that play. Got a nice block the line of scrimmage to help get Carterville that first down.
Unofficially, that's the 5th first down for the Carterville Lions here in the first half. 10:15 remaining. It's the give to Nolan Hartford off the left side. Powers his way out to close to midfield. They're going to mark it at about the 48-yard line, bringing up second down.
That's what you want to do on first down if you're Carterville. You want to get 4, 5, even 6 yards. Get into situations to where now Benton's guessing on what you're going to do on the next play.
Carterville showing a little patience now. Running some time between plays. Hellriegel's going to keep it. Gets a block. Cuts it up inside. First down. Falls to the 45. Got a nice kick block there. I believe it may have been Hayden Morris that opened up that hole.
I think you're exactly correct. And Hellriegel did the smart thing by waiting for his blocks to develop. He didn't try to just take off and run past his blocker. He got behind them, waited for the hole to open, and made a nice run.
This is the 15th play of the drive for the Lions. And met right in the backfield, but skipping away is Carterville's Bryce Smith. He keeps powering his way, kept the legs churning. I'm not going down. I'm going to keep working. And he picks up about 3 super hard-fought yards.
Yeah, it should have been about a 2-yard loss, but Smith kept his legs going, and he got, from where he was hit, he gained about 5 yards.
He had to work for it. Second down and 7 from the 42. Hellriegel. Oh, the ball is just rolled back to him. It's picked up by Bryce Smith, and Bryce just like fielding a grounder and charging it, just powered his way through the line, and he's coming up just a couple of yards short of a first down.
Well, that's 2 plays in a row now. Smith's made something out of what could have been disasters. The snaps have not been great here in the first half. Back to Hellriegel. I'm sure that's something that Coach Dye will address at halftime.
You know, there was a pretty good rain shower about 5 o'clock this afternoon. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Hellriegel's going to keep it. He has the first down and more. Right up the middle, out to about the the 26-yard line. And another first down for the Carterville Lions.
Again, just great blocking up front by Carterville's offensive line. Even when there's a bad snap, even when there's something, the play doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere, the offensive line, they're doing their job in giving Carterville's running game a chance to make plays when it looks like there's nothing to be made.
First and 10 now for the Lions from the 26-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 out to the far side. Biddle, Nolan Hartford. Jordan Cordes of the receiver spread right. Hellriegel looks back toward Coach Brett Dial. Are they going to audible out? No, they're going to set. Puts a man in motion, and
they didn't get the play off. I was watching the play clock.
Delay a game.
Flag on the play, delay of game against the Lions.
So now it's going to be first down and 15 from the 31-yard line. 18th play of this drive.
And that's where a veteran quarterback like Hellriegel has to know how much time is left on the play clock and either hurry up and call the play, get the players moving that need to be moving before the snap of the ball, or take a timeout. I know they've already used one, and they would still have one left, but, you know, losing 5 yards with the way this offense is going, that might not be a big setback.
1st and 15 from the 31 now for the Lions. Hellriegel now. He'll look to snap, feel some pressure, throws it out, and it's going to fall incomplete, and he got popped right on his hip. Gets a hand up to his feet, though, and fortunately that ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, he was trying to get the ball to Biddle at about the 15 on the near sideline. Biddle was covered, but Berkey was about 10 yards past him all by himself. Now, the play may have been designed to go to Biddle, and Berkey probably just didn't have enough time to see Berkey wide open.
13, 12, 11 on the play clock. 7:09 on the game clock. Carterville, they don't hurry. They're going to have to call a timeout. 4, 3, 2, 1. They get the snap away. He throws it. Oh, pulls it down. He's going to keep it out. He dropped the ball, and the Benton Rangers fall on it. The ball was stripped out of Andrew Hellriegel's hands, and it was there 1 second, and he turned around, and it was on the turf the next.
Yeah, it was stripped from behind, and it looked like when Hellriegel took off that he was going to have a lot of room to run, but give Benton credit, they were able to strip the ball from him before he could get out in open space, and that's the first turnover of this ball game.
So Benton now with 7:02 remaining in the first half has it 1st and 10 from the 30. And now the Rangers, Tiffin Kazukas. Takes the snap a little high, gathers it, though, and hands it off to his running back. And wow, right there defensively for the Carterville Lions, Riley Bradford. He's a beast tonight.
I don't know that he's even getting blocked, getting touched.
It doesn't look like it.
I think it's just like he's going through a turnstile, and he's getting in the backfield so quick. But that's the thing about this Carterville defensive line. When you look at them, they're not the biggest kids, but they are very, very quick off the ball.
We saw that last season. I mean, they could, especially the last 2-3 games, they just were cracking that line and in the backfield, living out back there. 6.5 remaining. It's 2nd down and 13 from the 27. Kazukas looks to throw, throws it left side. Ball's tipped off the hands of his receiver, Grant Owens. It falls incomplete. And now it's going to be 3rd and long for the Rangers.
Again, this is the situation you want to put a sophomore quarterback in. Force him to make a play.
3rd and 13 from their own 27. Kazukas gets the man to jump. And that was Berkey, I believe, that jumped.
I believe
or was
that
it was actually Aiden?
That was Luke Johnson, the sophomore, on the right side. Little antsy. Looks like he was, as a linebacker, looked like he was coming on the blitz from the outside. But the hard count by Benton got Johnson to jump off side, so now it's 3rd and 8.
From the 32. Kazukas, again, has worked from the shotgun the entire game. Feels some pressure, throws it right across the middle. It's caught. It's going to be getting away at the 42-yard line. The ball on the turf, but he falls on it. That's enough for a 1st down. It was Wyatt Upton on the reception and the 1st down carry.
Well, it was a great play call because Carterville had people coming up the middle, and right before Kazukas got hit, he just dumped the ball over the top of the Carterville defensive line, and they were able to get a 1st down by about a yard.
The ball is at the Ranger 44. 5:50 remaining in the half. Kazukas, ball on the near hash. 2 receivers right, 2 near side. Kazukas now looks far sideline, looks his wristband, checks, makes the call. Rangers are ready. Here's the snap. Give to Upton in the backfield, and he is wrapped up by 3 Carterville Lions, all right there, including Jordan Cordes.
Also in on the stop for Carterville was Talon Walker from his defensive end position. Carterville's interior defensive line has been really good in this first half. You know, we talked pregame about the Carterville offense. It's been Carterville's defense so far.
Offense has scored 8 points. That's where we're at right now. It's 8-0. Kazukas takes the low snap, throws it right side. His receiver, who was Jesser Cepeda, lost his footing and hit the turf. The ball sails over his head, falls incomplete, and now it's 3rd down and 10 for the Benton Rangers.
Yeah, Carterville had good coverage on that play. Even if he doesn't slip, I don't know that he could have threaded the needle between the defenders, but again, another situation where Benton's 3rd and long with 4:52 to go in the first half.
A lot of chatter offensively. Kazukas sets the alignment for his offense, stacks the receivers left side, just on the outside of the numbers. 2 receivers to the right are stacked. Takes the snap, a whistle is going to stop the play, and it is going to be a timeout that was called by the Benton Rangers. 4:52 remaining here in the first half. We'll pause 30 seconds. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF. Hey, everybody online, good evening to you. Thanks for watching. Starting to get in a little better flow now. 4:52 remaining in the second quarter. Carterville leads this game 8-0. Coming up, we are going to have our McDonald's halftime reports. We'll update scores from around Southern Illinois. Talk about this first half of football action between the Lions and the Rangers. And don't forget, tomorrow on Sports Voice, going to name our very first high school football team of the week, Scott Hudson.
It's crazy. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe
we keep saying that, man.
I know. Well, it's because we're old, and time flies a lot faster when you get older.
This is true. I get it.
I mean, I've gone to some place and think, wait a minute, I know time flies, but is it Christmas? I see Christmas stuff out. What the heck's up with that?
I know.
I get Jolly July, but this is August.
I know. I understand. That'll be basketball season. 4:52.
That's right.
3rd down and 10 for the Rangers from the 44. Kazukas rolls right, looks to throw, feels some pressure from behind. Man, he got popped, and the ball is caught out on the 40-yard line.
How did he catch that?
On his tippy toes and on the reception. Trying to think who that is that may have been Lucas Wilson.
I mean, Carterville had the play covered. And as you said, Kazukas got hit right after he threw the ball. But a great catch. I did not think there was any way that ball was going to be completed.
1st and 10 from the Lion 37. Kazukas now throws it, little screen pass right side, gets it out to his running back, Upton. And Upton picks up about 3 on that carry, bringing up 2nd down and 7. It looked like when he caught that pass, he was standing on his tiptoes, like he mistimed the jump. Yep. But then it was right on the money.
Yeah, it was just, sometimes you got to be good, sometimes you got to be lucky, and I think there was a little bit of both on that play.
2nd and 6 from the 33 for the Rangers. Threatening to score. Carterville leads it 8-0 with 4.5 remaining in the half. Kazukas has 3 receivers left, rolls to his left. He'll throw again and lofts it up left side. Almost picked off. Peyton Biddle was the defender there, as the intended receiver for the Rangers was Jesser Cepeda.
Cepeda became the defender because Biddle had his hands on the ball, and Cepeda just knocked it out of his hands.
Yes, he did. Nice job by Biddle. But I got to tell you what, Kazukas took another shot. He's standing right in there. You got to give him credit.
He is not gun shy. I will give that young man that. Usually when you have a sophomore quarterback that's never played at this level, you get a little gun shy. You throw before you're supposed to. He's taking the hits and delivering.
And, yes, there is a lot of similarities between him and Keegan Glover. as the pass was incomplete. Intended receiver was Owens. Short hopped him out to about the 25-yard line. And now the Rangers are looking at 4th down and 6 from the Lion 33.
Kazukas was coming to his left. He had to throw across his body, and it's always tough when you have to throw across your body. Sometimes you don't get enough oomph on the throw, and that was the case there, as it hit the turf before Wilson could get his hands underneath it.
4:24 remaining. Ball at the far hash. It's 4th down and 6 from the 33. Lions need a defensive stop. Kazukas takes the snap, drops back about 3 steps, looks across the middle, airs it out, incomplete. And now Carterville Lions, they hold, and they're going to get the ball back.
Now that was appeared to be a case where Kazukas threw the ball where he thought a receiver was going to be. He threw it in the middle of the field down around the 15-yard line, and there was a receiver to the near side line, and then one on the hash marks on the far side, and there was nobody else around, so there's a little bit of miscommunication on that play. But either way, Carterville offense will get it back, and let's see if they can punch in another touchdown before the halftime.
They lead it 8-0. It was a 4-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Peyton Biddle, and the 2-point conversion, it was good. It's the give, Hellriegel on the fake. Keeper keeps it, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 now from the 34.
And it looks like Benton may be blitzing their linebackers, shooting the gaps to try to blow up the play like they did there before it gets started.
Under 4 to play. Carterville doesn't huddle. They get the call from the sideline. Hellriegel has 3 receivers right. Takes the snap, gives it to his running back. On the carry, that is Bryce Smith.
He's been the workhorse for the Lions in this first half.
3rd down now after the gain of 4. It's 3rd and 6 from the 38-yard line. Big play. Carterville needs to keep this drive going as the clock continues to tick. 3:15 remaining in the first quarter.
You could run the ball here with that offensive line. More than likely, I'm going to guess they're going to throw the ball, although they've got a tight formation.
They are in tight, and it's going to be Hellriegel. Looks for a block, gets it, and wraps up. He's going to be short of the first down by about 1 yard. So Carterville now is going to be facing a 4th and 1 after the carry by Andrew Hellriegel picks up 5 yards.
Faked the sweep to Hartford going to the far side and ran up the middle, got, as you said, about a yard short of the first down, and Carterville's going to go for it. Why not? They went for it when they were deep in their own territory.
Sends 2 receivers to the far side. Benton finally gets their defender off on the far side, and boy, that's going to be close.
I don't know that he got it where they're spotting that.
We're right down the line here from our vantage point in our press box. It's going to depend on the
I think they're going to measure.
Mark.
Quick snap. Oh, they gave it to him.
They did.
The official on the near sideline marked it to where it was going to be a first down. The official who came in from the far sideline appeared that it was going to be short. So Carterville's fortunate that the official nearest them made that call.
2:21 remaining here in the first half. We have timeout on the field.
I think Benton wants a measurement.
Yeah, they're going to make a measure, which is a smart move. This Lions broadcast, by the way, is brought to you by a new sponsor this year, Steve and Rich's Barber Styling. Full-service salon on Division Street in Carterville, open Tuesday through Friday from 8 until 5, Saturdays from 8 until 2. And this Lions broadcast is also brought to you by IBEW Local 702, proud supporter Carterville Lions Sports, dedicated to providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all. Chain is brought out. First down. They got it right the first time. There.
It would be big if Carterville could score here before half, because Carterville will get the ball to start the second half. And then you have an opportunity. If you score there, you could go up 3 scores and really, really put the pressure on Benton.
The last time these two teams met, last year, Benton came away with a 23-6 win. 2020, there wasn't a game because of COVID. Then we remember the blowout year, 42-0, when the Rangers knocked off the Lions. Pass out to the far side. Peyton Biddle takes it, gets popped, bounces off of it, but he can't get back to the line of scrimmage. And now the Lions are facing a second down and about 11 yard.
Good pursuit by Benton's defensive backs. Carterville's run that play a few times tonight, trying to free up their speedy wide receivers, and it's worked a couple of times, but on that play, again, Benton's defenders did a very good job of getting to the ball quickly.
Clock is at 1:40 remaining in the first half. Coming up, we are going to have our McDonald's halftime report. Peyton Biddle, Andrew Hellriegel hands the ball to Nolan Hartford. Hartford tries to get to the outside, stops at the hash, cuts it back up inside, gets out toward midfield where he's going to be brought down 4 yards short of a first down.
Hartford did a good job of turning that play back up in the middle. He had nothing on the outside, and he did a good job to get the yards that he did.
1:20 remaining. We have timeout on the field. We'll pause for 30 seconds. Lions lead it 8-0 here from Carterville High School on News Radio WJPF.
Ranger.
That'll bring up about 34. Timeout starts to Carterville. Carterville has 1 timeout
Good.
remaining and
Maybe we'll just use that. Minute 20 remaining in the first half. Coming out of the timeout, Carterville needs 4 yards for a first down to keep the drive alive. Ball is at the near hash. Andrew Hellriegel, the quarterback for the Lions. From the shotgun, takes the snap, throws it right side, first down. That is Blake Berkey, and he's pushed out of bounds. Stops the clock. Nice play call, nice throw, nice catch. First down, Lions.
It had to be a quick throw because Benton was, blitzing a linebacker from the left side. And Berkey, we saw what he can do as a receiver last year, and his name and number is going to be called a lot this year.
Minute 15 remaining. Hellriegel throws it across the middle. That is Nolan Hartford, where he's upended at about the 27-yard line.
Hellriegel connects with Hartford, number 5 on the play.
That's another first down for the Lions.
Well, Hellriegel has so many options to throw to.
Yes, he does.
And it will drive a defensive coordinator crazy.
At the Ranger 27, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Throws it to the 1, fade route to the right. Blake Berkey is it was off the hands of Berkey. Nice job defensively out there on an island by themselves. The Benton Rangers, number 18, Aiden Kimball, broke up that pass, and that would have been a touchdown for the Lions.
Yeah, it was a well-thrown ball, but give the Benton defender credit. I mean, he was right there, and Berkey had the size on the defender, but the ball may have been thrown just a tad short, and Berkey could not reach up and bring it in over the defender. 2nd
and 10 from the 27 now for the Lions. Put a man in motion. He cut toward the sideline. They didn't call it, as it's Blake Berkey with the reception, makes a move, and is brought down at about the 21-yard line. He started to break toward the line of scrimmage. I'm surprised it wasn't called. The game clock under 40 seconds now.
I saw the same thing, Mr. McKenzie.
3rd and 9 from the 26. 27 seconds remaining. Hellriegel throws it across the middle. Out there, it was incomplete as Biddle dropped it. I think he looked to see where that defender was at the last second. And fortunately for the Lions, actually, it's not a bad thing. Incomplete, stops the clock.
Stop the clock. Now it does bring up 4th down. But, yeah, Biddle found that little open spot at around the 10-yard line, and it just went right through his hands.
That was the 12th play of this drive. Carterville leads it 8-0, trying to score going in at halftime. 22.4 seconds. 3 receivers left side. Hellriegel now throws it right side. Ball was tipped, falls incomplete, stops the clock, and Benton Rangers are going to get the football with 19 seconds remaining for the Benton Rangers.
Yeah, Benton has started to, it appears to me, blitz their linebackers, especially from the outside. That ball was just batted down. And so Carterville comes up empty on that possession, and I bet Benton
Gonna take a knee?
Well, they're lining up like they're not, but they got to be careful here this deep in your own territory.
Carterville sends their defensive backs deep. That's Biddle. Kazukas from the shotgun. 2 receivers left and right. Hands it to his running back. That's Upton, who's popped at the 25-yard line. Clock continues to roll. That should be the end of the first half. Wow, what a first half of football. It was the opening drive for the Carterville Lions where they score, and that's it. The Lions lead it 8-0. Stay with us. Your McDonald's halftime report is coming up next. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
Do you have a check that needs...
Okay. Yeehaw. Hey everybody online, hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching. 8-0 is our score as we are at the half at Carterville High School. Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson. Glad to have you with us here this evening on what's turned out to be a beautiful night. We had that big heavy rain earlier, kind of muggied it up a little bit, but sun has faded, and that was a pretty good half of first Bill Carterville football. Carterville leads it 8-0.
Yeah, the way it started out, Benton got the ball first. Carterville forced them to punt. And then Carterville got the ball in their first possession and just went straight down the field, I think, on all runs. And you thought, uh-oh, this is the way Carterville want to start the game. This is the way probably the first half's going to go. Well, after that, there was a lot of action between the 20s for both teams, but nobody else could score. I think if you're Benton, you got to be happy with only being down by 8 at half, especially after Carterville took the ball for the first time and went in and scored. So if you're Benton, you're happy where you're at. I thought their sophomore quarterback played really well for a kid that's never played, a Friday night game before. And Carterville's got some things to clean up. I thought they might throw the ball a little bit more in that first half, but the bottom line is Carterville's up 8-0.
The Carterville Lions, they scored at the 6:42 mark of the first quarter. That was their first possession. It was a 6-play. 53-yard drive, 47-yard drive as they started on the Benton 47. And the 2-point conversion was good, and that was all of the scoring in the first half. Benton with 2 first-quarter possessions. Carterville only had 2 first-quarter possessions, and actually it was their second possession. They took over the ball with 2:55 remaining in the first quarter, and it was a 19-play drive that wound up ending on the fumble by Andrew Hellriegel, where he had the ball just stripped from behind. Benton took it back, was unable to do anything to change a possession. Carterville, a 12-play drive, couldn't do anything, change a possession, and that's where we stand right now, 8-0. And like you said, I think Benton would be very happy that they only are trailing by 1 touchdown.
Yeah, no question. And I think Coach Groves has to be happy with his sophomore quarterback, the poise he showed out there, because he was under siege most of that first half when he would drop back to pass. But Benton's defensive backs, I thought, did a very good job when Carterville did throw the ball of having tight coverage. So we knew Benton was going to still be a good team. We just didn't know, because of the number of kids they lost, how good they were going to be. But they're big up front. They're very good defensively, especially in the backfield, and Carterville's in for a battle in the second half.
8-0 is our score. It's our McDonald's halftime report as the band is getting ready to perform, and a little bit slow on their setup, but it's their first game too.
Yeah.
So, it took me about a quarter and a half to kind of get my mouth to work the right way, and that's kind of how it is. When we come back, we are going to go through some scores from around Southern Illinois. A lot of good matchups tonight. I think we'll talk about a couple of those key matchups, and there's a big game tomorrow night as well. Lions lead this. We are at the half. It is 8-0 here on your Lions broadcast on News Radio WJPF.
To buy or sell a home in
Welcome back to Carterville High School. Dave McKenzie and Scotty Hudson. We're at the half where the Carterville Lions lead the Benton Rangers. It is 8-0, and updating scores from around Southern Illinois, Scott. Harrisburg leads East Alton Wood River 21-6. That score is at the half. Carmi, White County blowing out Hamco at the half, 30-0. Redbud has a 14-0 lead over the Pinckneyville Panthers in Pinckneyville. Fairfield leads El Dorado 14-0. Johnston City blasting Edwards County. I think everybody thought that would be a pretty good matchup tonight, that game at Johnston City.
Yeah, Johnston City lost a lot of kids, including the Brown kid that went to Wisconsin, but they're having no trouble tonight with Edwards County.
Mount Vernon leads Taylorville 33-0. CZR trails Flora 26-6. And there's no update. Anna Jonesboro at West Frankfort, Chester at DuQuoin, Murphy at Carbondale, and Nashville at Carlisle. When you look at the schedule for the Carterville Lions, Scott Hudson, and we always like this first-round matchup between these two, first week matchup between Benton Rangers, but next week on the road at Heron.
Yeah, just down the road, playing a Heron team that has really struggled the last couple of years, only had 2 wins last year. They've got a couple of new kids out this year for football that will help them, one being the Harrison kid who won state in the 100-meter as a freshman. He was also part of the 4x, I think it was 200 or 400 relay team that won state. Also playing football this year for Heron. Literally, he came out, he decided to play football, I believe on a Thursday before the Monday that practice started, and that is Kyrese Lukens, who was a very, very good basketball player as a freshman this last year. He's come out to play, so you've got those 2 speedy wideouts, because if he does, those 2 will be a handful for anybody.
Well, you talk about a handful. Heron's Week 1 matchup coming up tomorrow night on the road at Marion.
I've heard that this Marion team is going to be better than last year's team.
And they were darn good last year.
They were very, very good. They were about 40 seconds away from going to the semis against a team that everybody thought they would probably beat and then go to state. But I've heard that, of course, they lost the wideout, their star wideout from last year, but the quarterback's back. They're very big. They're very physical. So Heron's going to have a tough matchup tomorrow night in Marion.
Also, while we're in our halftime report, I want to say good luck to Luke Ford up at Illinois. This week was announced that he's on the watch list for All-American at tight end, and Illinois opens their season tomorrow. I'm looking for some big numbers from Luke Ford up for Brett Bielema up at Illinois.
Yeah, play Wyoming, the Cowboys. Don't know a lot about them. Of course, Illinois being the bigger school. The last I'd heard, and I could be way off here, but just a few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, I don't know that Illinois had decided on who was going to be their quarterback yet. I'm sure they have by now. But, yeah, Luke Ford is a very, very talented young man. He's a very good tight end, both blocking and receiving. And if Illinois has a quarterback that can throw the ball, look for Luke Ford's numbers to really skyrocket this year.
Luke was just a tad bit banged up during the preseason, but he's a tough guy. He'll get out there. He's my Superman. I know he'll play. 8-0 is our score here at Carterville High School. We are at the half. The pride of the Lions on the field performing their halftime routine, and this is our McDonald's halftime report. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow morning, starting at 8 o'clock, it's Sports Voice with Murph and Hudson. I'll step in starting at 9 o'clock, and we'll go through and talk about all the high school games from tonight, preview the Heron at Marion game, and then name the high school. Well, at least we know Heron and Marion won't be the first week high school team of the week.
Yeah, and then Vienna, I forget who they have to play. Vienna Goreville, they play a game tomorrow, so that'll eliminate 2 teams there. So we've got some interesting scores that have been coming in, and it's never easy to pick a team of the week. You're always going to have people who aren't happy about who we pick, and you're going to have people who's super happy about who we pick. But, yeah, a lot of things going on this time of year in the world of sports. Baseball, pennant races winding down. You got the start of the NFL season just around the corner. A lot of things going on. The NASCAR has their race at Daytona tomorrow night. That is the last race to determine who gets into the playoffs. So a lot of things going on that we'll talk about tomorrow morning.
It's your McDonald's halftime report. Stay with us when we come back. We'll continue here from Carterville High School. The Lions lead the Benton Rangers. It's 8-0 here on News Radio WJPF.
At Brownwood Chevrolet.
Welcome back to Carterville High School. Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson. We're at the half here. It is 8-0. The Lions scored on their first possession of the ball game. They marched 47 yards, and it was a 4-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Peyton Biddle. The 2-point conversion was good. Lions lead at 8-0. That's all the scoring, Scott Hudson.
That was it, and I got to give Benton credit for adjusting on the fly. A lot of times in high school football, you see teams make adjustments at halftime. They really don't have it's easier to make adjustments at halftime than it is, while play's going on. But I thought Benton did a very good job on both sides of the ball to adjusting to what Carterville was trying to do. There in the second quarter, Benton was bringing guys off the edge where Hellriegel was going to have to throw the ball quicker than maybe he wanted to. Benton did a better job against Carterville's running game at times in the second quarter. So I give Benton credit for making those adjustments that really kept Carterville from making this a, 14, 16, or 20, 22-point lead.
Updating one other score from around Southern Illinois. We finally got a score. Murphy is taking on the Carbondale Terriers tonight, and the Red Devils lead Carbondale 21-13. 8-0 is our score here at Carterville. We're going to go on and take our final break and wrap up this McDonald's halftime report. When we come back, second half action is on the way. Next on News Radio WJPF.
Hey, quick, tell me the greatest thing.
Welcome back to Carterville High School. Happy Friday night football to you and to yours. And here at the half, the Carterville Lions lead the Benton Rangers 8-0. Scotty, what do you expect to see from your Lions here in the second half?
Well, they would like to take the opening kickoff here in the third quarter and go down the field and score, just like they did on their first possession in the first quarter. Both teams, I'm sure, went into the halftime needing to make some adjustments. I think Carterville, we've heard Coach Dahl say he's more concerned about his team than he is the other team because he's got so much confidence in his team and what they can do. I think Carterville, you might see Carterville have to air it out a little bit more. We saw Hellriegel and Bryce Smith in that second quarter maybe not have the running space that they had early in the game. So I think Carterville has enough playmakers, enough weapons that they can mix it up maybe a little bit more to where Benton is guessing if it's going to be a pass or a run.
And from the Benton Rangers, you got to expect it's just more of the same. Just try to get that offense going. They've done a nice job stopping Carterville. And, as you mentioned at the beginning of the halftime, you got to think that Coach Justin Groves is happy they're only trailed by 8. Get a stop here on the Lions in this first possession, get the ball back, you're right back in this game.
I think he's happy with his defense, especially in the second quarter. I think offensively he's going to have to probably establish somewhat of a running game because Kazukas, who did show me a lot in that first half, I mean, he took some shots, and he didn't shy away. and he made a few good passes. But I don't think Groves wants this game to come down to his sophomore quarterback having to make big plays and have him, be the difference in the game. So I think Benton wants to run the ball a little bit better in that first half than they did in the second half than they did in the first half.
Let me ask you a question, Scott. Do you think there is a game during regular season where there are more halftime adjustments made than in the first game of the season?
Probably not. It just depends on
how things are going.
It depends on the teams. Like for Carterville, this is a veteran group. You shouldn't have to do a lot of tweaking. You may have to change up some blocking assignments. You may have to move a linebacker inside or outside, whatever the case may be. Now with Benton, because they've got a younger team and a very young quarterback, yeah, you could probably see a few more adjustments made. But you're right. The first game of the season is probably the one you're going to see the most adjustments made. And Carterville was their own worst enemy at times. Low snaps. Hellriegel looked like Carterville might be going in for that second touchdown. Hellriegel gets stripped from behind. It's the little things that you have to do in this game to beat good teams. And right now, Benton has got to be happy with this score.
Both teams are getting their final instructions from their respective coaching staffs. Coach Wanke out there talking to his special teams. Carterville is going to get the ball to start play here in the second half. And Coach Justin Groves over on the far sideline as he is chatting with his kickoff team. And Carterville is going to send Nolan Hartford back deep to do the receiving on this kickoff. And I got to tell you what, gut feeling says you need to watch for an onside.
Yeah, and really that's true. I mean, you never really know.
Would be a perfect opportunity.
It's a high risk, high reward type of play, but if it works, you get the ball already in the opponent's territory. So you have to be ready for anything.
Thank you for listening to our broadcast here on News Radio WJPF. You can go to YouTube and you can watch the second half of this game if you would like. Doing the kicking for the Benton Rangers, Jesser Cepeda, the left footer, makes his approach, gets his foot into it, kicks it away, and it is taken at Nolan Hartford at the goal line. He brings it out across the 10, the 15, the 20, gets out to the 25, has his legs chopped out from under him right there, and Carterville is going to have it 1st and 10 from the 25.
Now he took that right at the goal line and got out to the 25-yard line, so let's see what this Carterville offense can do to start here in the second half. I think a lot of people thought, because of the experience of Carterville and the lack thereof, so to speak, of Benton, that this game might not even be this close at half, but give Benton credit. They have played well.
Lions have it on the near hash. Andrew Hellriegel, the quarterback for the Lions. 2 receivers left. Running back in the backfield is Bryce Smith. And it's going to be Smith that gets away, cuts it up across the 40. The 45 out near midfield, keeps his feet chugging along, but he steps out of bounds at the 46. And that is a fantastic first down run. And what a block to open up that end.
Well, a great block, but a great job by Hellriegel to, again, take a low snap off the turf and get it to Smith. I mean, Smith, it looked like one of the Benton defenders tried to strip the ball from him, and Smith said, nah, not this time.
Big gain there for the Lions. They get it to the 46. And Hellriegel throws it across the middle. Peyton Biddle tried to one-hand it. It was a little too far out in front of him. Falls incomplete. Now it's 2nd down and 10 for the Lions.
Yeah, just a little bit wide, but there were Benton defenders all around Biddle. Even if he makes that catch, he's going nowhere.
And I think that may be why he just one-handed that.
Yeah.
Because he knew that was going to happen.
I just would have faked the hamstring injury, and I've been on the turf.
11:38 remaining here in the third quarter. It's the give to the running back. Bryce Smith right up the right side. Carries it all the way out to the 20-yard line of the Benton Rangers. Bryce Smith ate his Wheaties at halftime. That was the adjustment they made. He has got Carterville driving. They have it down at the 21-yard line of the Benton Rangers.
I think Coach Dial may have challenged his offensive line at halftime. They are just creating some massive holes on that line.
I'm sure there was a lot of challenges in there. Hellriegel's going to keep this one. Gets pulled down from behind, slows him down, and he finally is dropped right back at the line of scrimmage. But, yeah, big plays by the offensive line, and Bryce Smith is the beneficiary of that.
Yeah, last time Carterville was in this part of the field, they ended up losing the ball on a turnover. You know, you want to finish off what has been a good drive so far.
2nd down and 10 from the 21. No loss on that play by Hellriegel. He claps his hands, takes the ball, gives it to his running back. Bryce Smith bangs his way out to about the 15-yard line, gain of 6. And that's going to bring up now 3rd down and about 5 or so for the Lions.
Now Smith has been the bell cow tonight for the Lions offensively. He's running hard. He's running in a straight line. There's no east and west to Mr. Smith. It's all north and south.
7th play of the drive for the Carterville Lions. Hellriegel looks over his troops, puts a man in motion. That no one Hartford, but Hellriegel's going to take the low snap, going to keep it. Brought down at the 13-yard line. It's going to be a yard or so short of the needed 1st down marker.
Hellriegel's probably had the toughest running tonight of the running backs. It seems like Benton is keying on him, and anytime he's tried to run, he has not had a lot of room.
4th and 2 now from the 13. Lions need a 1st down. They lead this game 8-0, under 10 to play in the 3rd. Low snap again. Hellriegel gets popped short of the 1st down, and for what, the 3rd time now, the Benton Rangers have held the Carterville Lions in check. I guess this is the 2nd time. And now the Rangers are going to take over.
Well, another low snap off the turf, and that disrupts the whole play. The running back has to stutter step to wait till Hellriegel gets the ball, and just that little amount of time allows a defensive lineman or linebackers to hit the gap and make a play, and that's what Benton did. I mean, a great drive into the red zone, and then Carterville has nothing to show for it.
9:42 is when the Rangers take over here in the 3rd. From their own 14. Kazukas hands it off to Upton. Upton just flops his way out to about the 17, maybe the 18-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. Short gain for the Rangers. Gain of 3, actually, so it's 2nd down and 7 from the 17.
Benton, since Carterville scored on that first drive, their defense has bend but don't break.
Yeah. Tiffin Kazukas, the quarterback, he took over for the Rangers' Keegan Glover. He's done a nice job this evening. 2nd down and 7 from the 17. Kazukas hands it again to Upton. Upton is stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Man, right there defensively for the Carterville Lions, Elijah Mooring. Eli right there.
Yeah, he was one of the linebackers that Coach Nathan Biddle was talking to me about before the game that they expect a lot out of, along with Aiden Hinton and others.
It's 3rd and 6 now from the 18. Come on, boys. Get a stop here.
Boy, it'd be nice to see a Riley Bradford or a Jordan Cordes get in on Kazukas and get a big sack deep in their own territory.
Benton, 1 receiver each side, spread left and right. 3, 4 in the backfield now, including the quarterback Kazukas. Gives it to the up man, busted off the right side. He's going to be short of the 1st down by about 2 yards. And now the Benton Rangers, after the carry by Lucas Wilson, are going to be about 2 yards short, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, probably a little less than 2. Let's see what Benton's going to do. Cordes on the tackle for the Lions. Carterville brings in Eli Morse to clog up the middle, because it looks like Benton's going to go for it here.
4th down and 1 from the 23. Kazukas. Again, powerhouse backfield for the Rangers. Trying to get exactly. Kazukas was trying to get the Lions to jump, but he actually got his own man, his receiver, Trayson Severin, to take a step forward, and everybody in the joint called it except for the officials. And then finally they were like.
And that will drive a coach batty because it's a wide receiver who's probably not going to be in the play. It's probably going to be a running play if they run a play at all. And that will drive a coach to drink.
It may do that. Carterville sends Peyton Biddle back. Benton Rangers are forced into a punting situation. 7:22. There's the snap and the kick. They do kick it away. Biddle takes it at the 47-yard line for the Lions. Skips across into the 30, the 25, down the far sideline. And Carterville is set up for an outstanding field position here on their second possession of the second half.
Now, the punt just wasn't high enough to have Biddle call for a fair catch or let it hit. It was more of a line drive, and Biddle caught it, took off towards the far sideline. How many times have we said this tonight, Dave? Carterville in scoring territory. At some point, they're going to have to bust that door down and get another touchdown.
Carterville starts from the Ranger 22-yard line. So great scoring opportunity here. Three receivers right. Aiden Hinton, one of those three. It's the give to Nolan Hartford off the left side. Gets a block, spins his way down inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Nice job by Hartford following his blockers. And we have
there's a
injured Ranger now.
Injured Ranger. I don't know. You have to hope that that's a cramp.
Looks like it, and I see one on the far sideline as well. We're going to pause 30 seconds. Lions are driving. 6:55 remaining here in the third quarter. We'll pause 30 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
Don't let the name.
Go 60, Brian. Go 60.
Will do.
Hey, everybody online, good evening to you. Stream looks pretty good tonight.
Oh, that field looks great.
Yeah, it does. Love the new field. And it's soft and cushy. Brian, go 3. Go 3.
Here it is. Here we go. You are all good on spots, but we'll just, whatever you need, we'll get.
All right, bring it back after this.
And that'll be half the distance to the goal.
It's going to bring up first and goal from the 4. So Carterville, an opportunity here to advance this 8-0 lead. Hellriegel takes the snap, gives it to his running back, and powering his way in for the touchdown. For the Carterville Lions, is that Bryce Smith?
That's Nolan Hartford.
Nolan Hartford.
Did a great job of following his blocks to the left side, and even though Carterville did not get points on their first possession, the offensive line has done a great job opening holes for Hartford and Smith, and they have just been outstanding here tonight.
Nolan Hartford scores. Riley wears number 8. Benton jumps way offside. That may change things, and Carterville may go for 2.
Yeah, he's Coach Douglas of anybody get back out on the field.
We were going to see that. And I know that I've been to practice all week with the Lions, and in the breakdown at the end of practice, every single day, Coach Brett Dial talked about, guys, you have to hydrate. Don't wait to hydrate for a Friday night game Thursday night. You need to build up the fluids. And as of yet, knock on this hard head of mine, We've not seen anybody cramping on the Carterville squad. I'm not saying they're not, but it's not obvious. But they're carrying this guy off, and he's locked up over there. As one of the assistant coaches goes out and picks him up, lays him down on the turf on the far side, trying to stretch that out. Calf muscle, it looks like. They'll get some fluids pumped in him. So Carterville lining up for the 2-point conversion. Hellriegel in tight with his offense. Gives it to, that is Carterville's Bryce Smith on the carry, and he comes up just short of the 2-point conversion. 6-17. Carterville leads it 14-0. We'll pause 60 seconds. This is Lions football here on News Radio WJPF.
You're a...
$14-0 is our score here at Carterville High School. Carterville set to kick off to the Benton Rangers. Squib kick right down the middle. It's taken at about the 27-yard line by the Rangers. And with the football is Jacob Kinsman. And that's where the Rangers are going to start with 6:10 showing on the clock.
Well, Carterville finally got that second touchdown tonight to give them a little bit of insurance, a little bit of a cushion in this game. And Carterville's defense has done well tonight. I think Carterville's. I think the two lines, the defensive line and offensive line, have done very, very well tonight.
I agree. So the Rangers, who need a touchdown, come out with 6:10 remaining in the third. It is Tiffin Kazukas, the quarterback, puts a man in motion, right side, drops back, looks to throw, throws it right side, passes incomplete as the intended receiver out on the far side was, I believe that was Jesser Zapata out there, who was the intended receiver.
Don't know. I couldn't tell if he slipped on the far sideline.
Correction, that's 23, Lucas Kinsman. Second down and 10 now from the 33. 6:05. Yeah, I see a Carterville Lion on here being stretched out by the training staff. It's a muggy night in Southern Illinois. Kazukas is going to keep it right side. Gets to the 35 where he's just stopped and waits on the rest of the gang to come over and tackle him. It's going to be a short gain of about 3, bringing up 3rd down and 7 now for the Benton Rangers.
Aiden Hitton coming off. I think Nicholas Bishing in the game now for Carterville.
Zach Miller comes out. Hitton into the game. Under 5.5. 14-0 is our score. 2 receivers left, 2 right for the Rangers. Kazukas claps his hands, takes the snap, wants to throw, feels some pressure, throws it out right side. Was it caught? Incomplete is the call by the official on the far sideline. And now the Rangers are facing another 4th down and 7 from their own 36.
And Kazukas had to get rid of it probably a little quicker than he wanted. Luke Johnson, the sophomore linebacker, was putting pressure on him on the right side. And I know it's only third quarter, but when you're down 14-0 and your offense has really, really struggled in this game, you pretty much have no choice but to go for it here.
Nothing to lose.
Nope.
5:10 on the clock. Kazukas, Rangers go for it. Nope. He takes the snap, punts it over the head of everybody. Carterville's just going to have to let it roll, and the Rangers will down it at the 22-yard line. Man, that was close to hitting his offensive line right in the back of the head.
That's what you call a quick kick.
Yes, it was. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Charlie's Air Conditioning and Heating. In Carterville, punctual service, 5-star satisfaction, and the experience that comes from 40 years in the business. Find out more at charliesairandheat.com. Carterville gets the football back after the punt by the Rangers. And the Lions, with 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter and that 14-0 lead, have it at their own 22-yard line, first down and 10. Offense makes their way to the line of scrimmage. In tight, everybody. Two receivers right side. Hellriegel puts Hinton in motion, gives it to Hinton. Hinton makes a cut at the 22-yard line where he's dropped at the 25. One of the most athletic kids I've seen out of Carterville in a long time.
Very athletic. We were talking to Coach Biddle before the game, and he said there will be times tonight that they'll run Hinton on that jet sweep, and he's got all the athletic ability in the world, only a junior.
It's the sweep to the right side, and on the carry for the Lions, it's Bryce Smith, where he's brought down at about the 30-yard line. He's going to be 3 yards short of a first down, so a gain of 3, bringing up third down and 3 from the 29.
He'll sleep well tonight. Talking about Bryce Smith, he's been the main man offensively for the Lions. He got tackled by 4 Rangers on that play and was still trying to get a couple extra yards when he was going down.
Officially 3rd and 2 for the Lions. Hellriegel steps up underneath center. He's going to keep it and try to dive forward. Are they going to give him the spot?
I don't think
the near side official looks like it could. The far side has him marked short. We'll see who gets there and puts the ball down.
He did. Boy, it's close. I think he's short. But it's within a yard if he is short. Yeah, fourth down. I'm not even going to measure.
4th down. They're saying it's about 4 inches or so. .312 as the clock rolls. 4th and 1 from the 31. Carterville's Hellriegel gets under center again. Oh man, defense got a nice push, but I think maybe Hellriegel had just enough. The initial contact, that defensive line stood up Hellriegel, but I think it was the big boys, including for Carterville, number 73. He's not on my chart.
Nope.
I'll have to get that clarified. First down for the Lions. 1st and 10 from the 34 now. This is the 6th play of the drive. Keeping it is Bryce Smith. High-stepping his way out across the 40 to the 41-yard line. And they're actually going to mark him at the 42. Nice job on that carry.
There's been several times tonight where Smith has run the ball and he's had his hand on the back of the lineman that's leading the way. And he seems to see the field very well. He knows when to go inside. He knows when to go outside. And he's very, very powerful.
And let the big guys protect you.
Yeah, that's what their job is, to open those holes.
Second and 2 from the 42 with 2 to play in the third. Trips to the left, throws it left. Biddle has the reception, makes a move, has the first down and more. Out across the 45 to the 47. They're going to mark him at the 48-yard line. Another first down on the catch by Peyton Biddle.
Yeah, getting Peyton Biddle open getting him one-on-one with a defender. And a lot of times Biddle's quick enough that he'll make the first man miss. Carterville really hasn't, unless I'm forgetting something, I don't think Carterville's gone deep one time tonight in the passing game. Everything's
just the
been
one
to the
corner
outside.
route that was incomplete was probably the long pass back in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from their own 48. Trips right, throws it right. Berkey takes the screen. The lateral, I guess, is the proper turn, and it was defended nicely. Is right there for the Benton Rangers, number 1, Grant Owens, and number 22, Wyatt Upton, who we've called his name several times, but on the offensive side of the ball.
That is a tough play to have success with, because Hellriegel is throwing the ball basically from the far hash mark all the way to the near sideline, and it's very tough for a wide receiver to keep his block on the defender so Berkey can have some room to run. That's a tough
That's a
play.
long stretch.
It
is
is
what they're trying to do, stretch out the defense. Hellriegel takes the low snap, gives it to his running back, Smith. Smith keeps chugging along, gets it back out across midfield. They're going to mark him right at midfield. And the Lions now are looking at a 3rd down and we'll say 3rd and 7, but the clock is ticking its way down to 40 seconds remaining.
Again, I know we sound like a broken record, but that was another low snap where Smith had to kind of hesitate, had to wait till Hellriegel was able to get the ball and then hand off to him.
Hellriegel, Lions will get the playoff before the end of the 3rd quarter. Throws it across the middle, caught. And Peyton Biddle puts his head down, spins, keeps fighting, and he fought his way to a Carterville first down. He was wrapped up, spun around 3 times, but just kept his head down. And yes, that is going to be a first down as they wind up.
They're going to say
no, they're going to say
down.
short. Wow. Clock rolls. Carterville's going to let it close out. Wow, I thought that would be a first. Hey, we're heading to the 4th quarter. Carterville has the ball. They have a 14-0 lead over the Benton Rangers. Stay with us. 4th quarter action is coming up on News Radio WJPF. Updating some scores from around Southern Illinois. Redbud leads Pinckneyville 39-0. Harrisburg and East Alton Wood River are tied at 21. Carterville's facing a 4th down and 1 here in the 4th quarter. They have the 14-0 lead, and that play is good for a first down for the Carterville Lions.
Just a direct snap back to Hellriegel. Went off left guard. Got the first down. These running backs in Hellriegel need to take that offensive line out for a good, nice meal this week.
Steak and Shake.
You got it. I wonder if they'd invite broadcasters.
That's where
too.
That's where all the cool kids go anyway.
Hey, well, we're not cool, but maybe they'll take us anyway.
We have a timeout on the field that's taken by the Benton Rangers. 11:39 remaining here in the contest. We'll pause 30 seconds on News Radio WJPF.
There's only so much time in the day. That's why People's National Bank made
Updating some other scores from around Southern Illinois. Fairfield leads El Dorado 20-0 in the third. Flora dominating CCR 40-6. Freeburg blasting Sparta 46-6 at the half. Carmi-White County, the last score we had was 30-0. That's what it's still showing. And JC blowing up Edwards County 43-0. First down and 10 from the 40 for the Lions. Pass near side. Nolan Hartford catches it. Finally is wrestled out of bounds just below us here at Carterville High School.
A good block by Jordan Cordes on a defensive back. The defensive back he was assigned to read the play, looked like he was going to come in and maybe have a pick six, but Cordes cut him off, and that allowed the pass to be complete, even though it was only for 1 yard.
13th play in the drive coming up for the Lions. Andrew Hellriegel gives it to his running back. That's Bryce Smith. He just stumbles his way forward for about 2. And it's going to bring up now 3rd down and 6 for the Lions.
That offensive line's done a great job tonight. Zachary Miller, Xander Smith, Luke Howerton, Hayden Morris, Jalen Smith, Eli Morris has been in there as well. They have just done an outstanding job tonight.
Yes, they have. 11 minutes remaining in the game. 3rd and 6. Lions at the Ranger 36. It's the give to Bryce Smith, and he gets his way out to about the 31-yard line. He's going to be about a half a yard, maybe a full yard short. Lions are going to be facing a 4th and 1.
I have to believe he's got to be over 100 yards rushing in this game. They faked the sweep to Hartford on the inside and then gave it back to Smith coming back towards the near sideline, and 4th and short yet again. How many times have we been here tonight?
Hellriegel from the shotgun. Claps his hands, gives it to his running back, and he was brought down, and what a fantastic defensive play by the Benton Rangers' Isaiah Dalton. He was right there, stacked up Bryce Smith, held on to him, and was able to bring him down, and Carterville gives it back to the Rangers on the change of possession.
Yeah, Carterville tried to go to the outside on that play, and it didn't work. Had 2 or 3 Benton defenders there waiting for Smith, and he was not going to get out of that mess.
1st and 10 now from their own 32-yard line for the Rangers. Kazukas looks at his play wristband, double checks it, looked at the far sideline, checks his wristband one more time. Trips to the left for the Rangers, takes the snap, feels some pressure, has to roll to his right, grab from behind, spins away, but then he's right there to be cleaned up for Carterville. Congratulations, Talon Walker, that gets the tackle.
Riley Bradford was the first one in there, and I believe that's the first. As much pressure as Carterville has put on Kazukas tonight, I think that's Carterville's first sack of the game.
Officially.
But it could not have come at a better time.
That was a loss of 11 on that. Puts the ball all the way back at the 21-yard line. 2nd down and 21, 9:40 on the clock. Seen a little fog over the field.
Yeah.
Starting
as
to
long
develop.
as Michael Meyer doesn't come out anywhere, I'll be fine.
Halloween is coming, baby. 2nd and 21. Kazukas. Rangers forced to throw, throws it across the middle, and it was
broken up by Bradford. A nice play by Bradford as, again, Kazukas under pressure throws as he's getting hit, and that ball was thrown really well considering.
Right on the money.
Where, who was.
Because I thought he caught it. I got to tell you, I thought he made the catch.
Bradford, made a nice play on the pass. Brings up 3rd and forever.
Clock stops on the incompletion. 9:20 remaining. Carterville leads it 14-0. Rangers have it 3rd and 21 from their own 21. Obvious throwing situation. Kazukas drops back, has pressure right up the middle, has to get rid of it, had no choice. Who was that, Jordan Cordes? Wow, he was rare so fast.
And Cordes had to get there that quick because they had that middle screen set up again. And if Kazukas has about another second, he probably gets that ball off to the running back, and he's got plenty of blockers out in front of him.
Yes, he does. Peyton Biddle drops back to the 45 in anticipation of the punt. This Lions broadcast brought to you by IBEW Local 702, dedicated to providing a better lifestyle for members and a better life for all. It's 4th and 21. Rangers are showing punt. Heading off the far sideline is Caden Conger. And we got a whistle that's going to stop the play.
Timeout, Ben.
Timeout by the Rangers. With 9:14 remaining, we'll pause 30 seconds. Lions are up 14-0 here on News Radio WJPF.
John A. Logan College is
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We have the winner of the 50-50, winning $275. Blue ticket number 332-3228. Again, 50-50, winner $275.
9:14 remaining here in this contest. Lions are up 14-0. Updating some other scores around Southern Illinois. Cahokia leads Alton 12-7. AJ leads Frankfort 13-6. That's the last score we have. Centralia shutting out Salem tonight 14-0. But again, that's a second quarter score. And no scores available for DuQuoin. Last score we had for Murphy Carbondale was, what was it, 14?
It's 27-13 Murfreesboro over Carbondale late in the 3rd.
That's why you're holding that up there. Okay. I get how this works now. It is 4th and 21 for the Rangers. Coach Justin Groves. Congratulations to Coach Groves. This week was announced the Southern Illinois Coaches Association, the SECA Class 3A Football Coach of the Year. Of course, Rangers a year ago, 11-1, made it to the Elite 8 round. They were a great team, and he's got a good staff, and well-deserved. Kazukas, or it's not Kazukas, actually it's Upton that kicks it, and it's a high kick. Doesn't get a friendly bounce. It goes out of bounds on the far sideline, and Carterville is set up for great field position here on their next possession, as they are going to have it with 9:05 remaining in the contest. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions.
Yeah, Carterville's had some success on 4th and short tonight. There's been other times where they've been stopped on 4th and short. If Carterville could punch one in here, then I think you could probably, feel pretty confident you're going to come away in week 1 with a win. So I think this is a big drive for Carterville to kind of put this game away.
Lions have it 1st and 10 from the Ranger 37.
Cordes coming on the field late, only 6 seconds left on the play clock.
They'll try it. He gets set, and they're going to say timeout. Brett didn't want to take any chances on that. He calls the timeout. We'll keep it here, hit the refresh here on the football scores. Don't forget, tomorrow night, big game is going to be Heron Tigers on the road at Marion. I think it's a 7 o'clock kickoff at Marion High School.
Thinking about going over to the game. Of course, you're always going to have a big crowd when it's Heron and Marion. Again, Marion ranked, the AP poll had them ranked 7th in 5A preseason. They're going to be very good again. Kerry Martin just keeps putting good teams out year after year.
Number 1 team in the 103.5 ESPN Little Egypt poll that was done. Was little surprise number 2 was Nashville.
Yeah, I looked at that and I thought, well, that has to be, they're going to give them credit for how good they've been the last several years. Even though they lost a lot of kids to graduation, maybe they've earned that preseason ranking.
All right, Lions are ready to go. 1st and 10 from the Ranger 37. It's the give to Nolan Hartford. Spins away at the 25, down to the 20. Cuts it up inside. Finally driven out of bounds over on the far sideline inside the 10. Nolan Hartford, some hard running on that one.
Hartford hasn't had a lot of carries tonight, but when he has carried the ball, he's done an excellent job. On that play, he could have very easily run out of bounds, but he didn't want any part of that. He was going to try to get to the end zone.
It's going to be 1st and goal from the 8 for the Lions.
Hartford, as you remember, was one of the key backfield players last year for Carterville. We've seen Hinton on maybe one running play. We know he'll get more. Smith's been the bell cow tonight.
Like to see Cade Lustenberger get it, but they give it to, the ball's popped loose, and it's on the turf, and the Rangers get it. It was a low snap again that Hellriegel had to handle. He got it off to his running back late, but got popped. The ball hits the turf. Carterville has turned it over again, and this is the same thing we saw a year ago at Benton.
Yeah, it's turnovers. You don't expect this from a veteran group. I mean, you might expect 1 or 2 low snaps, but this has been happening all night long. On the other low snaps, the running back has been able to hesitate long enough for Hellriegel to pick the ball up and hand it off. That play there, that was not going to happen. It hit the turf. Hellriegel did all he could with it.
A little live for the Rangers with under 8.5 to play. They have it at their own 15-yard line. 8:24 on the clock.
Another ball on the ground. Let's see who's got it. And Carterville's caused a turnover.
And there for the recovery for the Carterville Lions, it is, I believe, Luke Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson come up. Everybody's giving him a high five. He may have been the one to cause the fumble and recover it.
Well, let's try this one more time, boys.
If at first you don't succeed, try
recover
again.
a fumble, and let's try and punch this one in. The ball is going to be at the 11-yard line.
But, Dave, another example of Carterville's defensive front getting into the backfield so quickly that Benton has nowhere to go.
Let's see if Cade Lustenberger can get a touchdown. A little fade route. He's the receiver left, but it's to give to the running back, and the carry dragged down from behind for the Lions. I believe it may have been Hartford. It was. It's going to bring up 2nd down and goal, 2nd and 7. 2nd and goal from the 7. Let's say it that way.
I believe that was Benton's first turnover of this game. Carterville with 2. All have been fumbles, no interceptions in the game.
Andrew Hellriegel, the senior quarterback, gives it to Hartford once again, cuts it to the outside, tries to cut it up. Touchdown, Carterville Lions. Hartford with the TD.
I think everybody expected Hartford to keep running to the outside, and he stopped on a dime and went inside. And some of the defenders for Benton had kind of over-pursued when that happened, and Hartford was able to get in the end zone with a little help from his friends.
7:28 is all that's remaining on the clock here in the 4th quarter. Nolan Hartford, the 7-yard touchdown run. Carterville's going to set up for the extra point. Coming out, Riley Crane, number 8. Crane, the sophomore, 6'2", 185, right footer. Somebody moved.
Yep, somebody moved for Benton.
And again,
So let's see if the offense is brought back on or they let the sophomore try an extra point. I think they're going to let the sophomore try an extra point. Matter of fact, Carterville might decline this.
Offside. They'll decline it.
Well, they moved the ball. I didn't see them. Yeah, the officials moving the ball. So they are going to move half the distance to the goal.
On the hold, backup quarterback Brandon Skelcher, the junior. Brandon's had an outstanding preseason.
Has he?
Yes, outstanding. There's the snap, the hold. Kick is good. 21-7 is our score. Excuse me, 21-0 is our score with 7:28 remaining in the ball game. Stay with us. You're listening to Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
To buy or sell a
Gentlemen, the winner of the 50-50 has not been claimed yet. If you have blue tickets, number 332-3228, please go to the stand on the concourse. Please go to the booster stand on the concourse. If the winner does not claim their prize, it will be redrawn. Again, ticket number 332-3228. Thank you.
Kickoff by the Carterville Lions is returning. We got an injured Carterville Lion down over on the far sideline. Can't really see who that is. And is it 42? 40? Talon Walker? The Rangers return the kick out near midfield.
Yeah, I can't really see the number.
Yeah,
He's kind of rolling around a little bit.
we got the breath knocked out of him.
Let's hope that's all it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We have a pair of women's glasses that were found.
So the Benton Rangers are going to have the ball 1st and 10 from the 45, their own 45, over on the far sideline.
If you've lost your glasses, please.
With 7:20 remaining in the contest. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, Sports Voice with Murph and Hudson kicks off at 8 o'clock. Mike Murphy will have all the scores during the news in the morning. Sports Voice at 8. There's so much. This great time of year is got football, baseball's wrapping up, hockey camps are going to be starting in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, just a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
And, next week is when the college football season really kicks into high gear. Not a lot of games tomorrow, but there are a few. Of course, next weekend, SIU opens their schedule at Incarnate Word, and that is Talon Walker, and let's hope that he's not hurt very badly because he is a big piece of this Carterville defense.
Carterville will be on the road next Friday night, cross-county rival night. Heron Tigers. Scott and I will have all the action starting with our pregame show about 20 till 7. From over in Heron, Coach Brett Dial, one of the guys helping Talon walk off.
Talon's walking under his own.
Trainers for Carterville right there to help. He was walking on his own, and he's limping a little bit as he makes his way toward the bench here just below us. 1st and 10 from the 45. Kazukas throws. It's caught out on the right side by Lucas Wilson. He's finally pulled down out of bounds near side.
Number 33.
It's going to be enough for a first down. for the Rangers. I'm looking here, Scott. The Rangers had 5 first-half first downs. That is their first down here in the second half.
Well, part of that is because Carterville's had the ball a long time on their drives, and Carterville's defense has played much better. Well, I don't want to say they played. Let me rephrase that. Carterville's defense has played well tonight, but in the second half, Benton has not had any of those sustained drives. You know, they've had maybe, I don't know, well, you said that was their first down. They've had a lot of 3 and outs.
And actually, it's being called back after a face mask on the Rangers. Unless it's after the play. Well, it's going to be.
I don't know. It could have been on the receiver who may have gotten his hand out into the face mask of Biddle. I did not see that, but that could have been what it was.
1st and 10 from the 39 for the Rangers. 15-yard penalty. Kazukas takes the snap, throws it out. The receiver is met right there. Peyton Biddle pops him from behind as after the reception, it was Lucas Kinsman that took the hit.
You talk about reading a play and closing on the ball quickly. Biddle did just that.
He read that like it was a Dr. Seuss book.
That's right.
I've never heard that one.
I didn't either, but hey, let's go with it.
I may keep that. 2nd and 12 from the 43. Kazukas now. Throws it deep down the left side. Overthrows his receiver, who had beaten the defender for Carterville out defensively. That was Braden Wakey.
Yeah, he threw it a little long and a little too far to the outside.
Grant Owens was the intended receiver. Falls incomplete harmlessly to the turf. So now it's 3rd and 12 from their own 43.
I really like this Kazukas.
I do too.
He is a tough kid. He's going to go through some growing pains, obviously, but I'll tell you what, he's got the skill set to be a good quarterback.
Again, Kazukas throws it over the left side. It's out of bounds, and again, it was Owens. It was the intended receiver. Well, let me do this because we didn't really get to see. We saw Keegan Glover week 1. He had such a great year, and probably one of the best all-around quarterbacks I've seen in Southern Illinois.
Yeah, he was very good at timing passes. You know, I mean, obviously he could throw a deep ball, but sometimes it's hard to be able to throw those timing passes where you got to have the ball thrown to a certain spot by a certain time, and he was good at that.
Oh, the punt is blocked. They tried to punt it, and it is on the turf, and Carterville is going to have outstanding field position, and I'm wondering if maybe it wasn't your buddy Riley Bradford that got in and blocked that punt.
Well, he's all excited about it, and again, the punt was so close to line of scrimmage, I don't know if it was Bradford or a butt that blocked that punt. Either way, Carterville's got the ball in great field position.
At the 27 of the Benton Rangers.
And I would think with 6:11 to go up by 3 scores, you're going to see a lot of the ground game here.
Well, let me finish up my thought on Keegan Glover. Never seen a high school quarterback that could extend a play the way he could for the Reed Baumgarts to get open, and that was such a big part of his game. And a fade pass to the corner. Cade Lustenberger, the intended receiver, but it falls to the turf. I knew that was coming.
They were going to try
at some point. Cade Lustenberger he played as a freshman. He didn't play a sophomore and junior year because he wanted to focus on basketball. But when you're 6'5",
yeah,
a head football coach says, "Hey, come on over. Let's play receiver."
Yeah, I think if Hellriegel would have had a little bit more air under that throw, to where Lustenberger could go up and get it, it might have been a touchdown.
Lusty's lined up here on the near side. Carterville sends trips to the right side. Hellriegel claps his hands, takes the snap, gives it to his running back. That's Bryce Smith. Right up the gut, pounds his way down to about the 16-yard line.
There was a hole there, Dave, that you and I could have run through.
No, I couldn't.
Well, we could have at least walked through it.
With walkers.
Yeah, yeah.
First down for the Lions after the first down carry. Bryce Walker, he's had such a good game tonight. First and 10 from the 17 after the gain of 10. Taking their time, under 6 to play. And officials call a timeout. They're going to wind it up. Reset the play clock. This Lions broadcast is brought to you by Stephen Rich's Barber Styling, full service salon on Division Street in Carterville, open Tuesday to Friday, 8 to 5, and on Saturday from 8 until 2. Clock rolls to 5.5 remaining. Low snap, Hellriegel gives it to Bryce Smith. And he takes it down inside the 10. Depends on where he fell forward. We'll see where they mark it.
One thing that we haven't mentioned tonight about Smith and his running, he has done a very good job of protecting that football. There's been times where he's had second and third efforts, and sometimes that's when you see the fumbles happen, a turnover. But Bryce has done an excellent job of protecting that football.
The 6'1", 200-pound senior. He's in the backfield, lined up off right hip of Hellriegel. Low snap, takes the handoff, runs it right up the gut, and Bryce Anderson scores from 9 yards out to push the lead 27-0.
That puts an exclamation point on a very, very good night by Bryce Smith. He has been their leading running back all night long. That offensive line has given him room to find the hole and then determine if he needs to go inside or outside. He's had an excellent night.
Bryce Smith, the 9-yard touchdown run for the Lions. On to do the kick for the extra point. Riley Crane, Brandon Skelcher with the hold, the snap, the kick. 28-0. The Carterville Lions lead the Benton Rangers with 4:43 remaining in the contest. This is Lions football on News Radio WJPF.
Once again, we have lost parents. The glass is here in the press box. If you lost your glass, please come up to the press box and retrieve those. Thank you.
Dave McKenzie along with Scott Hudson with 4:40 remaining in the game. Carterville comfortably ahead of the Benton Rangers 28-0 after the 9-yard touchdown run from Bryce Smith for the Lions. The kickoff is turtled over by the Rangers at about the 47-yard line.
Let's see if Carterville puts in some fresh bodies. Bradford's out there still. Berkey, Biddle, Johnson, the sophomore. Cordes goes back out there. Hinton. Wakey on the far sideline. So they're not substituting as much right now as I thought they might, but
recapping the scores, Carterville led it 8-0 at the end of the first. It was 8-0 at half. It was 14-0 after the 4-yard touchdown run from Nolan Hartford. At the end of the third quarter, Carterville's up 28-0 now. as Kazukas hands it off to the running back. And on the carry, it is Jacob Kinsman. Guess I can move the camera.
Elijah Mooring in on the stop. I think that's a young man that we're going to be calling his name a lot as the season goes along.
We'll shorten that to Eli.
Eli, that's perfect.
Why don't we do that?
Like Tua?
Tua and Eli.
Yeah. Tua Tagliavola. I just didn't say Tua. Murfreesboro leads Carbondale 34-13 late in the third. So Murfreesboro's going to go to 1-0.
Coming up, we're going to have our People's National Bank post-game report. Oh, Kazuka's got plowed.
A raw talent right now on this Carterville team, especially defensively. But he has all the physical tools to really be good.
Clock is not working. It's locked up, apparently. Starting to see the fog over the top of the field. The ball is dropped. Kazukas doesn't get it. Picked up by Hinton. But with the recovery, Jordan Cordes. As Kazukas couldn't handle it, about 3 Carterville Lions wind up with it.
Well, Hinton thought he had a recovery and a touchdown, and he forgot the ball.
Oh, that's what it is.
But Cordes was there to go ahead and fall on it. But again, Dave, we talked about it all night long. This Carterville defensive line has just been dominant, not allowing Benton to have any resemblance to a running game tonight, especially in the second half.
Lions have it. Just run the clock out, boys. 3:32 remaining. It's 1st and 10 from. And getting away on the carry. Who is that for the Lions?
That is Luke Johnson, a sophomore. That's the linebacker we talked about. He gets his first carry. Looked like he was stopped just beyond the line of scrimmage, and the next thing you know, he breaks out and gets it down to about the 12-yard line. Now, he's going to come out of the game. I don't know if he's got a cramp. But I'll tell you what, that sophomore, I think we're going to see a lot of him as this season goes along.
1st and 10. The ball is. We got all sorts of funny stuff going on with our clock. So it's 1st and 10 from the 13 for the Lions.
New quarterback.
Brandon Skelcher in to take a couple of snaps, gives it to his running back on the carry. That is Peyton Van Horn. Van Horn loses about 5, maybe 6 yards.
Yes, Skelcher took a little bit longer than probably he would have liked to get to the ball to Van Horn.
As a loss, we're going to say it's 3rd down and, or 2nd down and 14. So Brandon Skelcher, that is the backup to Andrew Hellriegel. What a night for Hellriegel. Skelcher, the 5'11", 146-pound junior.
Throws a pick.
And
he was trying to get the ball to, I believe, Lustenberger. The problem is he threw the ball low to Lustenberger, which allowed the defensive back to come in and pick it off. You throw it high, he may not catch it, but neither will anybody else.
So Benton gets it back with 2:04 remaining. And they have it at the, where will they mark that down?
Got to be marked at about the
30,
about
17.
Yeah.
1st and 10 from their own 17. Let's go on and take our break here. Carterville leads it 28-0 here on News Radio WJPF.
Hey, quick.
Harrisburg tonight taking on East Alton Wood River. They're in overtime, tied at 21. 28-0 is our score here at Carterville. Rangers have it after the interception from Brandon Skelcher. So don't forget the Carterville Lions are on the road next Friday night at Heron. Scott and I will have our pregame coverage starting at 6:40. The Carterville Lions, after losing, well, 2 of the last 3, there was no matchup for 2020. What am I trying to say here? They lost their last 3 to the Rangers, right?
Yes, yes.
And breaking out for the Rangers, bringing it near sideline on the carry for the Rangers. It is Andrew Craven, first down.
And I'm sure Carterville would love to go ahead and pitch the shutout. They're going to do everything they can to keep Benton out of the end zone. Under 2 minutes to go.
1st and 10 from the 41. Kazukas remains in at quarterback. Still from the shotgun. Clock rolls, minute 40. It's the handoff once again to Craven. He runs it out of bounds near sideline. Picks up about 3 on the carry.
Another bit of good news is I've been watching Talon Walker on the sideline. He does not appear to be hurt that badly. He's been walking around, talking to his teammates, so that's a very good sign, especially in week 1.
Yes, it is. 2nd and 5 from the 46. The left-hand side of the 50, that would be the Ranger side. Minute 37. The handoff once again to Craven. He just gets behind the lineman, and Carterville's defensive line plows its way through. Leading the charge there for Carterville, Peyton Van Horn.
Yeah, 5'10", 180 junior. Making his presence felt on this current drive.
Clock is stopped at a minute 29. And a penalty actually is called on Carterville, and that's going to give the Rangers a first down.
Face mask. These officials take all the fun out of the game.
Yes, they do.
Can't grab a face mask, come on.
1st and 10 from the Carterville 47. Kazukas hands it again to Craven.
There's
Craven
Van Horn
is brought
again.
down. Van Horn's there. Clock is ticking its way toward 1 minute remaining. It's going to be 2nd and 7.
Johnson coming back into the game for Carterville. Out Eli Mooring, who's had a good game tonight.
Coming up, we'll have our People's National Bank postgame report and our John A. Logan coaches interview. It's the handoff on the inside handoff on the carry for the Rangers. Jacob Kinsman.
I think that was Grant Gibbons, a 6'2", 152-pound sophomore on the tackle for Carterville.
3rd and 5 now for the Benton Rangers. Final play of the game, 15-14. Kazukas looks to throw, throws it deep down the right side. It's going to be picked off by the Lions. That is Brandon Skelcher. Gets the pickoff over on the far sideline, bringing it near side. Down, the clock has run out, and that is going to be it as Skelcher gets slammed to the turf. But guess what? The Carterville Lions win it 28-0. Carterville starts the season 1-0. Stay with us. The People's National Bank post-game report is coming up next on News Radio WJPF.
Dr. Children.
All right, we'll go 90 here.
Okay.
And then you could
Hey, Brian. Brian, did you catch that? Did you catch that, Brian?
No, I did not. Hold on. You're coming back.
$28-0 is our final score here from Carterville as the Lions knock off the Benton Rangers week 1 of the high school football season. What a game and what a start for the Carterville Lions.
I guess the best word to use for this game for Carterville, workmanlike, blue collar. I think a lot of people, and including me, came out and expecting to see a lot of fireworks, a lot of passes, a lot more open offense, and we really didn't see that tonight. But they didn't have to have it. Carterville wins 28, only 8-0 at half. Carterville, but they dominated the second half on both sides of the ball. Bryce Smith, unofficially, 20 carries, 171 yards. What a night he had. Special mention to both the offensive and defensive line to the Lions tonight. They were dominant. They were very, very good. And if they play like that all year, this is going to be a very successful season for this Carterville team.
This is your John A. Logan College post-game, People's National Bank post-game report as Carterville comes away with a 28-0 win. They scored in the first quarter at the 6:42 mark. It was a 4-yard touchdown pass from Andrew Hellriegel to Peyton Biddle. 8-0 after the 2-point conversion. That's how the first quarter ended. Ended 8-0 at the half. Carterville fumbled the ball on the possession of the second quarter, and there were only 3 total possessions. Benton couldn't do anything. Come back from second half. It was a 4-yard run from Nolan Hartford at the 6:17 mark of the third quarter. 2-point conversion, no good. 14-0 Lions at the end of 3. And then they score twice here in the fourth quarter to wrap up the game. The 7-yard touchdown run from Nolan Hartford. The extra point was good, 21-0. That was at the 7:28 mark. And then it was a 9-yard touchdown run from Bryce Smith. Extra point was good, 28-0. And you said he had, 171 yards?
Unofficially, 20 carries, 171 yards.
Outstanding performance for Mr. Bryce Smith. We're going to go on and take another break here on our People's National Bank post-game report. Lions win it 28-0. We'll update scores from around Southern Illinois next here on News Radio WJPF.
Do you have a check that needs deposit?
Okay, Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
The start of the game sponsor is wrong. That he is not the sponsor, so we're not setting it up that way.
Oh, okay. So no Joe's?
Correct.
Okay, I will not play Joe's. We'll take a 60 here.
Oh, okay. Coach is on his way up now.
Okay, actually, in that case, let me do the last John A. Logan. We'll make it a 90, and then you're good to get out.
Awesome. That's perfect. 28-0 is the final score. The Carterville Lions win their Week 1 matchup against the Benton Rangers 28-0. And as we mentioned, Bryce Smith would be our star of the game probably. He winds up with 20 carries, 171 yards. That's unofficial, and he did the yeoman's work tonight.
Boy, he did. And, let's give credit to the offensive line. They opened up some really big holes for him. He did a very good job of following his blockers. He didn't try to do too much until he saw where the hole was going to be opened up by his offensive line. And he did a great job tonight. I thought the offensive and defensive lines just dominated this game and threw a shutout against a good Benton Rangers team.
28-0 was the final score as we're waiting on Coach Brett Dial to come up for the post-game report. Let's run through some scores from around Southern Illinois. Mentioned it moments ago. They're in overtime. Harrisburg and East Alton Wood River. That's tied at 21. Let me skip forward as we have Cahokia leading Alton 28-7. Altoff leading John Burroughs tonight 20-3. Centralia leads Salem 21-14. That's the last score we have. Also, Johnston City, the last score we had was at the half. It was 43-0 Johnston City over Ed County. DuQuoin blasting Chester 26-0. Freeburg rolls Sparta 46-12. Redbud over Pinckneyville gets the shutout 52-0. El Dorado loses to Fairfield 34-14. Carmi White County blows out Hamco tonight by 40, 46-6. Mount Vernon shuts out Taylorville 40-0. And Flora beats CZR 47-14. Don't forget tomorrow, Madison Trojans, who we'll see this year, they have a 5 o'clock game tomorrow afternoon against Illinois CRU Crusaders. And tomorrow night, Heron Tigers on the road at the Marion Wildcats. And for our John A. Logan College Coaches Show with Week 1 winning head coach Brett Dial, 28-0. Coach, outstanding performance by your squad tonight for a Week 1 ball game.
Right. I mean, well, first off, hats off to the defense. I mean, they were solid all night. I think that the one thing that I was really kind of concerned about through the course of the week was, stopping Upton and Kinsman. They're two very good running backs. They're very physical. And, I wasn't sure, sometimes if the test is going to be they're going to run right at you, can you stop it? And it actually kind of worked the other way. I thought we stopped the run pretty well, and they threw it a little bit better than I was probably expecting with a sophomore quarterback. Kid's got a nice arm. He's going to be a load for the next couple of years. So hats off to our defense. Offensively, we left some points out there, that's for sure. It's opening night. We had a little bit of trouble handling the ball. I not making any excuses at all, but it's humid, and that thing, those balls were really. I think that how this game went for us offensively was probably not how I had it envisioned. We really found a couple things that they were doing, and we just stayed with it and just hammered them with the run game. And I really thought we were going to throw it a lot more, and we were really getting a matchup that we liked, and we just kept going. And I think the ball was getting pretty wet, and with our running backs, and we've got to do a better job of changing that ball out and playing those conditions. And I think that one kind of surprised us a little bit, and I think that's why we had a little bit of trouble handling the ball.
Coach, you mentioned your defense playing so well tonight. There were times your defense was in the backfield disrupting plays before they could even figure out where to go. Offensively, offensive line, outstanding job tonight, opening holes for Bryce Smith, who unofficially had 171 yards on the ground. Just your bell cow tonight, but offensive line, defensive line, that's where games are won and lost, and that's where you won the battle tonight.
Well, I thought our offensive line, we talked about that out there, I thought our offensive line played very well. And what I really noticed tonight, especially for Week 1, were some real good lock-on drives and quite a few pancake blocks, and our linemen were taking some pride in that. And if I would look back at last year, I would say that the last 3 or 4 games, I thought we struggled to run the football. And, you can throw. We threw for 300 yards week 10 and week 11 last year. But I'm going to tell you right now, I mean, that's great. But if you can't run the football and at the high school level, you're not going to advance very far. So one of our goals here in the offseason with an experienced line with two really good running backs was to get after a little bit more in that run game. And I really felt like tonight I liked the start because I know what our guys can do in the air. And when the opportunity presents itself a little bit better, we have that ability to go there too.
I think what I liked the most tonight, Coach, was the fact there weren't a lot of penalties. I mean, there were a couple, but I mean, week one,
I still got my fill on that.
I get it.
Right. Yes, there weren't a lot of movement penalties, which is something you usually see early on. You are correct. I mean, really, I didn't think there were a lot of holds. I thought actually both teams played relatively clean, considering. And I will say, I mean, it's not that hot compared to previous years, but it's a lot worse than what it's been these preseason practices. We've been really spoiled with low 80s and really relatively low humidity. But I'll tell you what, yesterday and then today, it's humid out there, and that's tough conditions to play in. Yeah, you can see the air just sitting. And I really thought we did a good job working through some cramps. We didn't really have that many of them, so I felt good about our hydration plan. But, you just can't simulate the game in practice. You just have to get out here and do it. And a lot of our guys are one way, so that definitely helps, especially up front. And, we just got through, and we're on to the next week.
You're talking about your defense, Coach, and I hate to single out one guy. And this is probably not a good comparison, but it's the only one I could come up with early in the game. Zachariah Miller. He reminds me so much of a guy I interviewed years ago with the St. Louis Ram, Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is not a big guy. He is thick, he is strong, and he was very, very quick, much like Miller is. He's not tall, he's not big, but he's strong, and he is so quick. And he disrupted so many plays last night. When your defensive line can disrupt plays, that allows your linebackers to make plays because they're still engaged with that defensive line.
It's almost as if you've been in our coaches' meetings. I mean, we've talked about our defensive line. They're all back. Our linebacking core is all new. So if you've got that good defensive line, it can let those linebackers play a little bit more free and clean them up on some tackles. You're right, Zach had a great game, and he's strong as can be. And then I'll tell you what, our other defensive tackle, Riley Bradford, I noticed him a ton as well. I thought our two D tackles really dominated the interior tonight. We've got those quick ends that are long and can make some tackles. And, I felt really good about our defense tonight. I thought that, they were a little bit of a question mark to me just because a little bit unproven. And it's really hard to simulate your team defense in practice just because you can't simulate what an offense looks like with your scout. You just can't do it. Whereas offense, you can run on air, you can kind of get to aiming points, you have a pretty good idea, but you really don't know what your defense is until you play. And I'm very, very happy with that start. It's a great job by Coach Gerald's, Coach Wakey, that whole crew on D, and those guys buying in and getting after it.
Coach, week one is done. Week two, you look ahead, cross-county rival, Heron Tigers.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to enjoying this one for one night, and then tomorrow night, I'm going to go and enjoy a night, of watching Heron and Marion, and then Sunday morning it starts. We got 1 week to prepare for them. I know they're going to be super athletic. It's a big rivalry game. They're going to be up to play us. Our kids are going to be up to play them, and it should be another good ball game.
Congratulations. 28-0, the final score. The Lions knock off the Benton Rangers tonight. And we'll move on to week number 2 next week on the road at the Heron Tigers.
I think Coach made a very good point tonight about his game plan. He basically took what Benton gave him. We talked earlier about how we thought there might be a few more fireworks, more passing, but they were giving Carterville the run game, and that's what Carterville took advantage of. You got to win games. Sometimes you can overpower teams. Sometimes you can outscore teams, but you have to do what is given. You have to take advantage of what the other team's giving you, and like he said, you're going to see some passing as the season goes on. You're going to see them throw the ball more, but they didn't have to tonight because that offensive line was so dominant. And congratulations to Bryce Smith on a 171-yard game.
Carterville wins it 28-0. And again, tomorrow morning, starting at 8 o'clock, it'll be Sports Voice with Murph and Hudson. I'll pop in the studio about 9 o'clock. We'll recap all the local high school games and name our first week high school football team of the week. For our producer engineer back at the studio, Mr. Brian R. Powell, my broadcast partner Scott Hudson, we'll talk to you next Friday night from Heron as the Lions take on the Heron Tigers. Pregame coverage starts at 6:40. 28-0 the final score. I'm Dave McKenzie. Have a great night. Thank you for listening to Lions football here on News Radio WJPF. God bless everybody.
All right, gentlemen, good job. Yeah, let's stay with this phone. This phone sounded great tonight.
Masters.
Good.
Rob's
All right,
Barbecue.
buddy. See you tomorrow.